It's the Orioles on Maston, and a very good Sunday afternoon, everybody, as the Orioles and the Indians will wrap up this series and their season series in a rubber match on a Sunday afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. For the Orioles, not a lot of series wins this year, particularly on the road, but they got a chance to do that in the ball game today. They've actually played probably their best baseball in a series since the Yankee series way back at the beginning of the season in this series against Cleveland. They've done about everything right. They've been able to score some runs. The defense has been outstanding, and the starting pitching phenomenal. None better than the start yesterday, Alex Cobb. It had been 5 years since he had thrown a complete game, but he got it done yesterday. He started it out, Lindor at the plate, got a strikeout. He wouldn't get many, but they were big. Then end of the fourth inning, take a look after a leadoff single. Orioles turned a big double play. How about a comebacker? Hello. Oh, yeah, I can catch that. Diaz line drive right straight into the glove for the out. Another strikeout. Cabrera runners on, gets him with a K. Then Diaz, seventh inning, again runners on, a K. And then this one, the double play, a 4-6-3, ended a first and third one-out situation. And on the other side, well, the R right now is driving the baseball. He got his third home run as an Oriole, his ninth of the year, good for 3 RBIs. And that would be enough for the Orioles in the ball game, but they would add another just in case they needed more. Mullins would deliver his first career major league home run, driving that one, a line drive into the seats in right field. Career number 1, and the Orioles have a win. Mike Bordick, a pretty good 2-game set.
Yeah, I like the way the Orioles have been playing. I think everybody should. Really, everything starts with the starting pitching, and David Hess threw a gem, 6 strong innings the first night. And Alex Cobb, wow, has he been on a roll. And nice to see the defense really starting to clean things up. Boy, have they been taking care of the baseball. 4 double plays turned this series, and every one of them really important, obviously, to the starting pitcher. But VR out in the middle of the infield has been pretty special here lately. Of course, the bat coming around. I think everybody kind of understood that this young man had some pretty good athleticism about him. Big-time numbers a couple years ago, and then he got set back with a low back injury, so the numbers kind of tapered off. And the Orioles land him in hopes that he could be that one pivotal piece that could play them both middle infield positions, playing shortstop today, and add the pop and the athleticism on the base paths. I mean, a couple stolen bases, home runs coming, and the clean defense. You know, Buck talks about him defensively. The game's starting to slow down for him, and that's a good sign.
Well, they really do want to take a look at him. I think a little more than they expected out of VR already. We will see him, as Mike said, at short today. And we will see the Orioles rookie. His name's Cedric Mullins. He delivered a home run. He's going to be coming up when we come back. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Sunday at the ballpark here in Cleveland. And a little breeze blowing in off the lake as it was yesterday for the ball game. And for Cedric Mullins, the new center fielder for the Orioles, a spectacular start to the first 8 games. Perhaps none more exciting than this, even more than the home run. He would lay down a bunt with a runner on and one away. And that's something he can do in addition to driving the baseball, which he did later, and playing some outstanding center field. How exciting is it for him to finally have made it here? Here's what he said.
It's been awesome being up here with all these great guys. You know, guys that I've been around with since spring training, and just ready to contribute any way possible.
We talk about your patience. Your teammates talk about your patience. Your coaches talk about your patience. What is that all about? Where does it come from?
I don't know. Just kind of how I was raised. You know, I've never been a guy to rush anything. You know, and it shows on the field and off the field. You know, just being the guy that takes everything in the moment and just tries to stay relaxed.
Was there anybody who talked to you about that along the way, players or coaches?
I think it just kind of came naturally. You know, just my personality in general, and like I said, just always staying in the moment.
Were you one of those guys who would rather be behind the scenes than out in front doing interviews like this?
No. I definitely don't mind it. You know, just just being able to be out here is awesome.
Listen, the switch hitting thing has been talked about along the way. Whether or not you're going to stay doing that, you're a natural left-handed hitter. Where are you with that?
This year has been really good in terms of my switch hitting throughout the year. It's definitely been a progression over the past few years. I know I've had my conversations with Buck during spring training about it, and I accept the challenge to continue to pursue it.
Great defensive player, obviously, and you always have been. Anything that's changed here at the major league level a little different than what you've done at the minors defensively?
The ball comes off a little harder. It has a little more carry. That's something I've had to adjust to. It's a matter of adjusting to the fields themselves as well. Even Camden, this is my first time playing at Camden Yards, and the wall gets on me pretty quick compared to when I was in Norfolk, where the ball might not carry as much, so I have a little more room to work with.
Do you prefer to be in a little closer or back a little deeper playing center?
Preferably a little more in. It just gives me a little more room to work with in terms of being able to run, and having a ball beat me in front is it kind of hurts me a little inside when a ball just one hops in front of me.
How about the learning process for the hitters? I mean, the adjustments with all the changes that go on with guys at the plate. How's that working out, and who's helping you with that?
Everyone. Anyone that can put their 2 cents in to give me an idea of how to continue to adjust to each person. Kirby has been a big help with that. He's always keeping an eye on me to make sure I'm positioned right in the outfield. You
and Adam Jones have had an interesting interaction that's been apparently completely positive since you came up.
Oh, absolutely. He's the type of guy that is always willing to help, and he's answered any question that I've had in the best way he can. And, just being able to be around him and to learn from him throughout this whole process has been very beneficial.
How about the moment when you took the team out on the field for game number 1? That was interesting.
That was fun. In all honesty, I've never seen, who led the team out. And when he said, no, center field does it, I honestly thought he was, playing a prank on me. But, when all the team was gathered around him, telling me that, hey, this is what we do. I took the word for it and then went on and went out there. It was fun.
Finally, you got a full Major League season hopefully ahead of you for next year. So what do you do in this offseason? What are your plans?
It's about the same. It's like keeping the same approach. What I did this past offseason helped me in terms of my longevity for this year. Keeping away from the injuries, the fatigue. My body feels really good right now. So nothing really changes. There might be a little difference in, more stuff like availability-wise. But, in terms of what I did last year, nothing really changes.
Boy, pretty polished young man right there. And I'll tell you what. He's been impressive in every regard, every facet of the game. Obviously, defensively, offensively, he's done some pretty special things. But he started his career at the bottom of the order. Buck slides him up to the top here in this series, just kind of see how he'd respond. Well, 0 for the first night, but a nice game yesterday with that home run and the bunt. So a couple hits, and not much will faze him.
And here he is. Mullins leaves it off. Clevenger's delivery will be taken away for a ball. Our game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. 78 degrees, humidity down, and that little breeze blowing in again from right to left. And the pitch will be taken for a strike on the outside corner. Mullins has gone 2 for 8 with the home run, a bunt single, and an RBI here in this series. In at third base, Ramirez, and that will be pumped away.
And take a look at Mike Clevenger's pitch arsenal. That four-seam fastball right there, 95 miles an hour here in the first inning. That is the pitch he's going to be working off. And then you see he's got the full gamut of pitches. The power slider, changeup, and curveball. Uses that slider against the righties, the changeup primarily against the lefties, and both. We'll see the curve. See opponents hitting 239. This is a big year for Clevenger. Really burst onto the scene last year. But
that ball drilled in the air. That's towards the gap, and there's another one. That's going to fall in, take a hop, top of the wall. He's thinking about 3. Good relay throw to get it in, though. And he'll stop at second base, and he continues to drive the baseball. I am a line drive hitter, he said. He was again.
Oh boy, 5th double already, and he can turn and burn on the best fastballs. We've seen him stay short and sweet, and how about that swing? Direct to the baseball, really staying over the baseball. Not a lot of drop on the backside. He is a line drive hitter, and good line drive hitters hit home runs as well. Homer yesterday, but 5th double. Nice way to start this game.
So he's had 11 hits now and 29 at bats in this his 9th game, and the Orioles get a chance to get on the board. Trey Mancini batting in the number 2 spot here in the ball game, and the pitch rode in on him for the swinging strike. Mancini has picked up 1 hit in the 8 at bats here in the series, including an RBI. 2 for 13 on the year for Trey against the Indians. Cleveland has already won the season series. They lead it 4-2, but Orioles have a chance to take this 3-game set. Rest of the lineup for the Orioles brought to you by Southwest. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency. Mullins, Mancini, and Villard, Trumbo, Davis, Nunez, Gentry, Peterson, and Caleb Joseph. And Mullins adding another with that double. He's on at second base. Orioles have gone 3 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this series, and a great breaking ball down and away.
And there's that slider right there. Well executed for Clevenger. Clevenger working on 150 punch outs this year. He's got 148 coming in, and this slider, big reason why. His best put away pitch against the right-handed hitters. Something to watch out for with Clevenger. 5-inning start, his last start against Cincinnati. He had 6 walks. Now walks haven't been a problem really, but you never know what the summer brings to a starting pitcher's arm.
So Clevenger has a runner at second with 1 down, and here's Villar, moved into the number 3 spot in the lineup because he's had the hot bat. He's had a home run, 3 RBIs in this series. Ramirez even with the bag at third, and the pitch will be a ball taken inside. Clevenger has beaten the Orioles this year. 1 start. He gave up no runs on 2 hits in a 9-inning complete game performance back on April 21 as the Orioles were shut out in that ball game 4-0. Clevenger has never lost to the Orioles. His record is 3-0, and this is the 5th start that he's had against the O's. Mullins being held close at second base. As Gonzalez, the shortstop, over there with him. That'll be driven in the air towards center, not as deep as originally thought. Base hit, late start. Runner will have to stop at third. That's one of those, the swing of the bat fooled Allen, the center fielder. He started back, but it ended up being a New York Times base hit.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Villar, who just destroyed the ball yesterday, big home run, has been on a home run tear here, just catching one off the end of the bat. So outfielders kind of respecting that power, and yeah, the false step leads to a base hit by Villar. Tough read for Mullins, so he takes his time and hustles into third base.
Boy, what a great chance for the Orioles to get on the board. Runners on at first and third, only 1 away, and Mark Trumbo, the DH. Trumbo with that bad knee, but he's still been hitting the ball hard. He is 1 for 7 lifetime off Clevenger. Runners off first and third, and the breaking ball will be in there for a strike. Worthy of note right here at this point is that Clevenger comes into this ball game not having allowed a run against the Orioles in 22 innings. We'll see whether or not the Orioles can break that one down right here. 0-1 the count, 1 away. Jumping around at first base, VR. And a swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking ball, and that'll be 0-2.
Yeah, that one backed up a little bit. First one buckled Trumbo, and you kind of expect that. Clevenger a little cross-body delivery, so not feeling too comfortable in there with the 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Our StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Take a look at the R over there. A big stolen base in yesterday's game, and as he creeps off, that success probability will certainly increase. There you go. Good speed. Of course, 62 stolen bases a couple of years ago.
Got him! Oh. There is a big pickoff, and he's among the leaders in that department. That is the 5th pickoff Clevenger has had. He has a lightning fast turn, and he gets VR.
He sure does. Boy, some quick feet right here. Boom, off he goes and throws a strike. VR trying to work to that back corner of the base. Looks like Alonso able to get that glove on him.
Orioles video people taking a look at it, and there'll be no challenge. Boy, is that a big play.
Boy, it sure is.
Whoa. So now there are 2 down with a runner at third, and Mark Trumbo down on the count here, 0-2. So Clevenger using the pickoff move to help his own cause. Pitch on the way, will be up and in. Let me correct myself on Clevenger. It's 18 innings that he is not allowed to run against the Orioles. 18. He's going for the 22 mark in this ball game. 22 consecutive scoreless innings against the Orioles. Doyle Alexander, last one to do that in 86 through 88 against the O's. 1-2. Runner off third. Mullins, breaking ball, will be tapped foul, and that swing hurt the knee. I mean, he almost limps across the plate.
Yeah, he's in some pain. Take a look at the Indians defense this afternoon. Brantley, Allen, and Cabrera in the outfield here at Progressive Park. Gonzalez getting the start at shortstop. Kipnis back over at second. Ramirez and Alonso on the corners. Perez doing the catching today. Take a look at Trumbo after that swing. And grimacing with the knee.
He is just barely able to play. 1-2 delivery on the way. It's a cut, fouls it back, and the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Lots of discussion about whether or not Mark would be the next player to be traded by the Orioles. Obviously some real value with the bat, especially with the month he has had in August and since the All-Star break. But that knee has really put a crimp in any if the Orioles were looking to move him.
Yeah.
Making it almost impossible to do. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way. Clevenger a breaking ball, and the nice stop made. Perez goes out to get it. He has thrown a couple of wild pitches with that big breaking ball, especially that slider he buries sometimes. So if you're on third base, as Cedric Mullins is right now, you really try and get off the bag on him.
Yeah, you better be ready to go. It's all about anticipation, right? So Bobby Dickerson said, yeah, you're going for the punch out. You're aware of the ball and the dirt. Nice block, though, by Perez there.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Upfield shaded to right. Pitch out. And a swing and a miss. Boy, did Clevenger get out of danger on that one, with a pickoff move being the big play in the inning. players, what a weekend they have had. They have absorbed it and absolutely loved it, and a few remaining to see game 3 of the set. Here's the lineup for the Indians: Allen, Brantley, and Ramirez, Diaz, Alonso, Cabrera, Kipnis, Perez, and Gonzalez. For Ramirez, last 6 red hot, one of the league leaders in every category.
Yeah, let's take a look at Jeffrey Ramirez's pitch arsenal this season. Well, he's got them all, but the changeup is really the separator and the big reason why he's pitching in the big leagues today. He's been outstanding here recently. 5 strong innings against the Red Sox, and really that's all you can ask out of Ramirez. Try to get to the middle of the game with minimal damage. 5.40 earned run average. He's got the 40 punch outs, 20 walks, a little to be concerned with right there, but 37 hits in 40 innings is pretty impressive by Ramirez. Opponent's hitting .245, and let's keep an eye on that devastating changeup.
And the pitch will be taken for a strike from Ramirez. Leading it off is Allen, the center fielder, with Leonis Martin out of the lineup. On the DL, pitch taken and hit him. Wow. He hardly moved on that, and it also caught Caleb Joseph. I think Joseph's hurt more than the hitter Allen.
Oh, absolutely. Caleb Joseph not ready for that one. Looks like he took it right off the wrist. And Allen just staying strong in the box, not even a flinch, and Caleb taking it right off the back of that left arm. Man.
Well, not the way he wanted to start, as Ramirez hits his 4th batter this year in 40 innings worked. So now the leadoff man is on. Allen has got good speed at first base, and that'll bring Brantley up. Brantley started in all 3 of these. Michael Brantley has picked up a hit against the Orioles in the series, but he's been involved getting walks, getting on base, and the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Brantley, one of the better hitters in the league in his own ballpark, as he is hitting .332 here at Progressive Field this year, and that is the 6th best home batting average in the American League. Good lead by Allen. Davis holding, and as a result the throw over. It's another one of those ballparks where the cutout area, the grass where it's curved from first base out, is larger. It's a longer area than you normally have in ballparks, so it's a little tougher to read the lead.
Yeah, exactly. Typically that cut is where pitchers and catchers typically, that's where they look to see if the guy's getting too far, but not able to get that read out there. So got to trust what the first baseman says, maybe talk about it in between innings, or even scream it out. Hey, step off or something. Keep runners and pitchers aware.
Brantley's had a good year against the Orioles, sitting 6 for 22. He has driven in 3 in the 4 wins for the Indians in 6 games. That'll hit the outside corner. Take a look at our league leaderboard, brought to you by Coons. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
What the season's longest hitting streaks in? There's Michael Brantley, and for Brantley, really his whole career has been whether or not he could stay healthy, and this year staying pretty healthy. 19-game hitting streak. Always been an exceptional talent. Just the injury bug has plagued him.
And a 2-1 throw over, as Ramirez will hold the runner. Base stealers are 4 for 7 against Ramirez this season. Caleb Joseph has thrown out 33% of base stealers, and Allen has extended his lead after that throw over by a half a step. He's 10 out of 11 stealing bases. 2-1. Runner fakes the go. Ball in the air to left field. Going towards the corner. That ball carrying. Fine play made by Trey Mancini. That ball just kept on going with the wind blowing from right to left. It looked as though it got carried a little bit, and Trey had to adjust and makes a nice play.
That was a great adjustment by Mancini. With Brantley staying inside the baseball, it's going to kind of push away from Mancini anyway, but the wind pushing it as well, and Mancini catch up speed right here, and at the end a lunging effort ends up in the glove, and a nice job getting it right back into the infield, keeping Allen at first base.
Another good defensive play for the Orioles in this series. Here is Ramirez. Runner goes. Low pitch. Caleb throws a good one, and not in time. Close play. Almost on the money, and the Orioles see if they're going to take a look at the throw down.
Yeah, quick throw by Caleb Joseph. Nice job by VR straddling the base, but still takes the throw out in front. If he lets that ball travel that extra 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and catches it on the runner, he's probably out.
And he did get in, got that hand in. So a stolen base, number 11 for Allen, puts a runner in scoring position for Ramirez. Only one hit with a runner in scoring position for Cleveland in the first 2 games. 1 for 5. I mean, that's how good the pitching was in the first 2 games of this series, that both teams had few chances. I mean, yesterday the Indians left 1 on base. 1. The Orioles left 3. There weren't nobody got on base.
Yeah, impressive pitching for sure.
Ramirez, the switch hitter. He'll go after it and pound that one foul.
There's the changeup from Ramirez. Take a look at the Orioles defense behind Jeffrey, Mancini, Mullins, and Gentry. Home in the outfield here. Progressive with Villar and Peterson turning 2 up the middle. Nunez back at third, Davis at first, and Caleb Joseph doing the catch.
Ramirez now second in home runs in the league to J.D. Martinez by just 1. Pitch on the way, and that will just miss outside. Also, he is third in RBIs, 5th in runs scored, and he is second in walks. So a big time on base percentage for him. 3rd in the league at .412 on base percentage for Ramirez. Jose trying to pick up an RBI right here. And the homer and an RBI in this series. That one in the air to left. This one's going to come back to Mancini. He's got it. A couple of fly ball outs to left, holding Allen at second base. Here's our Maryland Live Casino Inside the Numbers.
And take a look at Jeffrey Ramirez's opponent batting average by situation. Of course, runners on right now and in scoring position, so his numbers very good. It's been impressive watching him work with runners on. About that 209, 205 with runners in scoring position. Numbers up a little bit with none on, of course, but Ramirez has been impressive, to say the least. Buck Showalter would not be running him back out there if he wasn't, and it's all about building up the innings for Ramirez.
That'll bring Diaz to the plate. Diaz, their DH. Encarnacion on the DL, 10-day DL. He'll be back shortly, probably on the road trip as they'll head to Boston. They haven't played the Red Sox yet. They got 7 games left against Boston. They haven't played Tampa Bay yet. So they got 7 games left against Tampa Bay for the Indians. 1-0 count, 2 down. They hold the runner close. Peterson moving in on the runner at second base, and a strike taken on the inside corner at the knees. Now, Diaz has had limited at bats filling in here in this series, but he has gone 5 for 7 with runners in scoring position in the few opportunities that he has had this year. Eddie Diaz with 2 down. Allen hit by a pitch out there at second now. That'll be driven foul the other way.
Look at the Ramirez slider right there. Going to get that one down in the zone, buried in the dirt. But trying to mix up his pitches, trying to keep this Indians lineup off balance. I guess one of the advantage you get is pitching the last game of a series. Get to see the hitters in the lineup and how your pitchers went through. Of course, some pretty good looks there from Hess and Cobb.
That one to the gap in right center field. He got all of that one. That'll take a hop off the wall. He'll head into second base. Throw in by Gentry, not in time. A stand-up double and a 2-out RBI. Mercy. I guess you want him at the plate when guys are in scoring position. He's 6 for 8, and the Indians get a 1-0 lead.
Good looking swing right there. And talked yesterday about how he targets right field. They're staying inside the baseball and really getting through it, driving it deep to right center field. A little short hop off that right center field wall, and Gentry hustling it back in. A little too late as Diaz scampers into second base. And how about Allen scoring the first run of the game?
So 6 RBIs in 10 games for Diaz. Encarnacion may want to hurry back. Here's Alonso. He gets a chance with the runner at second base. Ramirez delivers a breaking ball that will be down and in. Alonso, the starter at first, the 1 for 7 in the series. But he's had a big year against the Orioles with 4 RBIs and a couple of home runs in the 6 games these teams have played. Modified shift on. They move it over in the infield, but not all the way around. Pick off at second base. Good throw. Ball will get away, though, but not far enough for the runner to advance.
VR saying he wants a little payback, so he sneaks in behind Diaz. And pretty good snap throw there by Ramirez. Nice idea as well. Early in a ball game, take a chance like that. The base runners know that Ramirez isn't scared to throw to bases. A lot of pitchers are, so base runners will test them, put some pressure on them.
Alonso waiting with a 1-0. And inside, nice stop made by Caleb as he had to scoop that one up. For Ramirez, it is his first career start and appearance against the Indians. He's making his 9th career start and 10th appearance in his career. This year is his major league career. He had 14 starts, AAA Norfolk, went 3-5, 3.88 ERA. As they take a long look at him as a potential starter for the future. 2-0 count with 2 down. They are jockeying with the runner at second. And the off-speed delivery will be a strike on the outside corner.
Good job there. Nice job by Caleb Joseph. Ramirez missing his spot, but Caleb making that pitch look pretty, reaching around and actually framing it in and keeping it on the plate. Even home plate umpire Jordan Baker, good look.
2 ball, 1 strikeout, looking for a final out. Won't get it on that pitch, as that is going to be fouled away and out of play. The Indians this year have won 19 series. They are 19, 14 and 7. Here at home, they have won 10. They're 10, 6 and 4. This is the rubber match, of course, for this series. The Orioles have won only 3 road series all year. Looking for a 4th here today. 2-2 delivery, had to get out of the way. Ball gets away. Runner will move up. No play.
Boy, not a lot of room in there, but it found a way between Caleb Joseph's legs. The hard slider here. Caleb sliding over and just sneaks through there and kicks away enough for Diaz to hustle into third base. Caleb wisely eating that one, not forcing the throw down.
3rd wild pitch by Ramirez this year. So here in the 1st inning, he has hit a batter who scored. He's had a wild pitch, and now with Alonso at 3-2, and he walks him. So the inning will continue. That'll be 21 walks in 40 innings. Not good.
No, you got to harness command a little bit better than that, and the big reason too why his pitch count gets worked up a little bit. And a hard time for him to get over that 5-inning threshold.
So they'll have a little meeting just to try and settle this one down a little bit. Nunez comes in from third base for the discussion, and Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, will be out to break it up. Jerry Lane's the crew chief. He's at first base. Greg Gibson at second base, and Nick Lentz at third. Umpiring crew for this one. Orioles will be moving on to Toronto for a 3-game set there starting tomorrow night. 6:30 for O's Extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. So still 2 down, but the 3rd out doesn't want to come. Allen hit by a pitch, stole second, scored on the 2-out double by Diaz. Now the 2-out walk to Alonso. 1st and 3rd. Cabrera, switch hitters, looking for his 1st hit in the series. And he will take the pitch inside. Right now Ramirez struggling to find consistency in the strike zone.
Yeah, having a hard time with that fastball command. We saw Alex Cobb yesterday and about the velocities here. Doesn't take the overpowering 95, 96 mile an hour fastball to get guys out, as long as you can command it here in the early going. Not a lot of command from Ramirez.
Gets the strike on the outside corner that time. Switch hitter Cabrera, 344 right and just 226 left-handed. Only 3 home runs, 2 from this side of the plate for the veteran. Elke Cabrera, 1st and 3rd, 2 down. 1-1. Got him to go after 1 down and in at 92. And Ramirez will get ahead on the count, of ball and 2 strikes.
Fastball right there from Ramirez. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast here. Working the edges and then says, hit it if you can. Challenging him with the fastball. Take full advantage of this count.
Delivery on the way to him, and that's going to bounce down low and inside. Last couple of starts, Ramirez has been non-decision, but they've been tough starts. He's given up 7 runs, 8 hits in 6 2/3 innings in games against Texas and Boston. So trying to get this turned around a little bit, get the W back up on the board. And that's going to go to second, and it's caught. Jace Peterson up in the air to haul it in and saves a run and ends the inning. Elke Cabrera retired. A run in on 1 hit. 2 are left on base, and 2 good defensive plays in the inning. have had this year.
Cleveland obviously the advantage coming in to this ball game here, but a couple close games in this series for sure. 1-2. The Orioles took the loss on the first night, and then a 4-2 win yesterday. So Orioles playing better baseball. Great pitching matchups. See what the low earned run averages across the board. It's all about timely hitting right now against these two teams. Yesterday the Orioles had the timely hit. The day before it was the Indians, and Indians with the early lead.
Davis will go after one away for a strike between innings. Roger McDowell, the Oriole pitching coach, tagging with the starting pitcher Jeffrey Ramirez. VR doing a little interpreting, it looks like. And the pitch will be taken up high from Clevenger. Davis, Nunez, Gentry due up for the Orioles. Cleveland won the series last year 6-1. Over the last 5 years, the Orioles have won 2 of the 5 against the Indians. It was Cleveland last year, 102 wins and 60 losses, winning the division by 17 games, and then defeated by the Yankees in the division series 3-2. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and that one Clevenger will miss up high. Davis watching the 94-mile-an-hour pitch 2-2.
Yeah, pretty interesting. You talked about the Indians last year. You know, the Orioles, and we've alluded to this last season.
Davis going to the gap. That'll be into right center field. They were not playing him there. Taking a hop off the top of the wall. Played back in by Cabrera, and he's on with a double. So the Orioles 2 leadoff doubles in the first 2 innings.
Man, gotta make one of them pay. Davis 10th double of the season, and it shows you how strong he is. A little bit fooled, but this is basically a one-handed swing. He gets out there and just barrels it, driving it into that right center field gap. So not a bad pitch. Actually had Davis fooled, but when Davis is right and he can get the bat on the ball, good things will happen.
So let's see, the Orioles can get that run back right away. Nunez up. Couple of hits in this series. Nunez has been one of the hotter hitters, 345 in the month of August. Leads the Orioles in hits in August with 19. And the pitch will be taken inside.
Yeah, a couple hits in yesterday's ball game, and actually overtook Trey Mancini. Nunez has been mashing this month. 19 hits to lead the team. A couple hits in yesterday's ball game. Seeing the ball very well. Taking his walks, not in any kind of rush, and finding the holes out in the field. Good thing.
Runner off second, big lead. Did he go? Nunez and Perez, the batter and catcher, both pointed down to first base. Well, only one of you can win, and this one goes to Perez. They were almost equal in their timing. A 1 ball, 1 strike count. Nunez only 4 for 21 with runners in scoring position with the Orioles. Davis, big lead at second base. There's the off-speed delivery, and that him out in front.
That is a nasty slider, dealing with that crossbody delivery. The loose arm cut it loose about 95 miles an hour with the fastball. So that slider really plays up. Now he's at that full advantage, and Nunez got to do some protecting.
Clevenger, 27 years old, 4th season with the Cleveland Indians. Came over in a deal in 2014 involving Vinny Pastano, and a swing and a miss. He just stayed down there, but put a lot more velocity on it.
Yeah, all 3 of those sliders and this final fastball starting in the same spot, but this pitch doesn't break. Stays true, 96 miles an hour, and just enough to get it by Nunez, who's really been on everything, but that little thought of the slider in the back of his head is all it took.
So the runner remains at second with 1 down. Orioles lead off double in the first inning and could not score. Now Davis will lead off double here in the second. It's Craig Gentry. Gentry coming off the DL for the series. There'll be another roster change probably tomorrow. Adam Jones is expected to join the club in Toronto for the game, so the Orioles will have to do something to get him back on the roster. Gentry with a 1 for 5 lifetime off Clevenger, but Showalter saying we haven't decided. They may have, but he's not announcing it, and what they're going to do tomorrow. You never do, because you never know what the day will bring. Players coming and going down with injuries. 1-0 delivery on the way, and that's a straight heater right there at 95.
Yeah, good fastball, painting that outside corner. He starts locating like that, it's going to be another good game for Clevenger. He's pitched himself out of a big jam there in the first inning.
Clevenger is 10th in the league in ERA, 3.38. He is 4th in ERA during the day. 1-1 delivery on the way. That's going to be a base hit if he can beat it out. The throw is not going to be in time. It's a single, and the runner will move up. Another one that came off the end of the bat, was not hit that hard, but a very long throw from shallow center field kept us racing over.
Yeah, placement, right? Location. So a good slider on the outside part of the plate. Gentry finds it on the end of the bat, but he knows it's going to be trouble out of the box, and he puts it into high gear. He is flying down the line, beating it out for a base knock and keeping some pressure on Clevenger. And here once again, first and third situation with one out.
Peterson, the Orioles starter at second base, identical to the first inning. First and third, one away. And the pitch on the way will be outside for a ball. You can bet Gentry will be very careful about his lead over there, as he watched Villar get picked off on the first and third with one away. It kind of destroyed any hopes the Orioles had in that first inning. 1-0. Even with the bag at third is Ramirez. Pitch will just miss, framed. Perez unable to get the call for his pitcher, and the count goes to 2-0.
Oh, nice take.
Orioles changing it up in the infield today with Peterson getting the start at second base. This is start number 12 for him at second base. Delivery by Clevenger. There goes the bat and the ball, and they're both fouled.
Now Peterson working the count into a good fastball situation, and he gets it. He lets everything fly. An aggressive cut. There goes the bat. Peterson, a nice defensive play to end that last inning out at second base. That line drive in between, hard soft hit line drive, so timing is everything out there, and Peterson timing it perfectly. Those line drives aren't as easy as they look.
Yeah. Limited at bats in August. He's 5 for 28 this month. 2-1 delivery by Clevenger, and he'll pop that one up shallow left field. Shortstop going back, Gonzalez will be called off. No chance to tag or go anywhere as Brantley comes on and makes the catch. There's another big out. Maryland Lottery contestant of the game is Robert Davenport from Arnold. 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Home Run Rich's scratch-offs went up to 50,000. Or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/home run. Well, Clevenger's got a chance to get out of it again. Caleb Joseph coming up. 2 down. Runners remain on at first and third. Right-handers so far doing it the hard way here in the first 2 innings. But he's got a 1-0 lead on the board. Davis, the leadoff double at third, and Gentry, who got the infield single, remains over at first base. Caleb's only had a couple of at-bats in the series, 0 for 2. And the breaking ball will be taken outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Clevenger, lifetime 23 and 16 for the 27-year-old, late developer as a pitcher. Right place, right time, as we mentioned on Friday. And having another good season. 1-1 delivery on the way. Wow. Pulled his arms out, the ball broke back in over the inside corner. 1-2.
Yeah, backed up on him, but still held some great movement. Look at that, busting down and in. 79 miles an hour.
This year, Clevenger opponents hitting .234 with runners in scoring position, about 20 points lower than the average. 1-2 delivery with the runner going, and he gets out of it again. So Caleb Joseph goes down swinging. That's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. And again, the Orioles with a great chance. They'll leave a couple on. next weekend, Oriole Park. It'll be fans encouraged to contribute for the non-perishable food items and cash donations to benefit the Maryland Food Bank. It's part of the 32nd annual Orioles Reach Food and Funds Drive, presented by Masson, WJZ-TV, and Pompeii and Olive Oil. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. Hope you'll join in on that at the ballpark. And a big thank you here on this Sunday from a couple of Oriole fans who are on hand for the game. Jason Kipnis will lead it off as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Kipnis 0 for 6 in the series and 0 for his last 12, and will foul the first pitch off.
A lot of Oriole fans here for this weekend set. And good to see all the orange.
I think a great chance for families, a lot of whom haven't been to this ballpark. Well, that'll take care of the over. Into foul territory. It'll bounce off the sidewall. Gets away. Ooh. He had already stopped at first base. There may be an error charged on Gentry as he mishandled the ricochet. Not an easy one. But Kipnis wasn't going to go to second till the ball got away.
Yeah, turning and burning on the changeup here. Take a look. Davis checking it, but it stays fair and kicks off the wall right to Gentry. So Kipnis says, well, I'm going to hold up right here at first base. And he sees the ball clear. Gentry's glove. Off he goes to second base. Runner in scoring position.
It will be a single and an error, putting a runner down to second base. So both teams have had the leadoff man on in each of the first 2 innings. Now let's see what Perez does. Roberto Perez, their catcher, and he does bunt, and a beauty. Almost. If it had stayed on the grass, he's got a base hit, but it goes foul.
Yeah, well, looked like he was actually bunting for a base hit right here as well. Nunez playing deep in this situation and just pushing off the grass. Foul.
You've seen balls, including the one that Mullins had for a bunt single yesterday. The way this grass is cut, if you keep it on the grass, it will stay there. It is not tilted towards foul territory. If you get it on the dirt, though, that will roll away.
Absolutely. And the angle right there with the bat, just pushing a little bit too much. And just like a righty hooking a fastball, if you get that angle a little too strong, it's going to have that spin to push it a little bit more towards foul ground.
29-year-old catcher out of Puerto Rico. Runner on at second. 0-1 count. And again, he's just trying to move the runner up this time. Ramirez will make the play, but that's a good sacrifice, and the crowd and the team will appreciate it. Perez gets it done.
Yeah, first one trying to bunt for that base hit. A little surprise attack with Nunez deep, and that one obvious sacrifice bunt. Squares early, make sure he gets it down there on the ground. No chance for Ramirez. And Kipnis walking to third base.
That is the 5th sacrifice that he's had this year. Most players don't get 1 anymore. He's got 5. The infield is going to be drawn in. So Terry Francona playing for a run, and Buck Showalter playing it as a 1-run game, even though we're only in the second inning. Here is Gonzalez. Not seen Gonzalez in the series. Eric Gonzalez getting his 3rd start at shortstop this season for the Indians, and he gets an RBI opportunity with Kipnis now at third base. Delivery to him will be chopped foul outside of third. Pitch that was up, and he got a swing on the downward side of that one. And the count goes to 1-1. So Gonzalez, one of the Sunday starters, coming off the bench in this ball game. He's played in 62 games now, but only 108 at bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery to him's a good one. Heater at 93.
Perfect fastball right there from Ramirez, just painted on the inside corner, and that's going to be so important if he wants to get to the middle part of this ball game. The ability to locate that fastball and especially drive it in under the hands.
Ramirez ahead on the count here, 1-2. Gonzalez will take it in the dirt. Another good stop made. It has been a busy 2 innings for the Oriole catcher Caleb Joseph. A lot of balls bouncing around. Been able to block most of them, but for the one wild pitch that got away. intent Roger McDowell. With a complete game yesterday, of course, the Oriole bullpen in great shape. So everybody available out there in the pen that might be needed today. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way to second base. Short hopped. They'll hold the runner. And the infield being in saved a run. Gonzalez is retired and there are 2 down. Head to our Facebook to enter for a chance to win a signed Adam Jones jersey. Brought to you by Security Plus Federal Credit Union. Buy with pride with Maryland flag design debit or credit cards exclusively from Security Plus. So now the D can back up with 2 away. RBI by Diaz in the first inning came with 2 down. Now Allen, leadoff batter, will try and equal that. Greg Allen, their center fielder, 2 down runner at third.
Did you happen to see that young Oriole fan right there? Looked like he was keeping score.
We like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Keeps you in a ball game.
Yeah.
And you keep score. Ball in the air to left. They've done it again. That'll be a base hit with 2 down and an RBI. So both their runs have come with 2 away. Allen just lofting a single the other way, and that'll score Kipnis and a 2-0 lead.
Not a hard hit ball right here. Actually a really good pitch. He reaches out there and finds some outfield grass, and of course a stake on the end. And the Indians have scored the first 2 innings.
So Allen gets the RBI. That'll be hit number 3 for the Indians. Allen's got 8 RBIs. Coming off the bench, as we said, to start in center. And he's got a big lead over there at first base. Here's Brantley. That'll draw the throw. He's already picked up a stolen base. Put himself in scoring position in the first inning. Here in this inning, the error has hurt. Kipnis had a single and went to second on the error by Gentry. That set up the sacrifice to third and the base hit. Allen's threatening to go over there again, and realizing that, throws being made to try and get that lead cut down.
Now, we talked in the open just about the Orioles playing some really clean baseball, and of course the error out there by Gentry allowing Kipnis to get into second base. That's an unfortunate extra opportunity, and the way the game started, leadoff hitter with a hit by pitch. That's another extra opportunity.
A fake go at first base, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Indians now have the lead in stolen bases in the majors, 99. They are 1 ahead of Boston. And Allen threatening to take off. 2 down over there at first base. Brantley flied to left. Fine play made by Mancini to deny him a hit. Ground ball to the hole. That'll be a base hit. Turn will be made by Allen. Gentry fields it cleanly, throws in, holds him at second base. So Brantley is on, and apparently today and this Sunday, Cleveland's only going to hit when there are 2 down.
Yeah, piece of hit right there by Brantley. Got that big hole opened up, and he's probably thankful that Allen held his ground there at first base, so that would roll through the infield. A little surprised that Allen held his ground at second. Thought he might hustle on into third in that situation.
So 2 on and 2 down, and now Ramirez, who flied out to left field, stands in. And a chance for the Indians to add to their 2-0 lead in this ball game. Outfield pretty much straight away. And a big swing and a miss by Ramirez.
Change up right there. Well, there isn't a lot of differential between the Ramirez fastball and changeup, and typically you like it around 8 or 10 miles an hour. And Ramirez at times 5 or 6 miles an hour difference between that fastball and change, but gets a nice little subtle fade action. Of course, that arm speed looking just like the heater.
Pitch is going to be taken down low. With runners in scoring position this year for Ramirez among his big numbers, 320 is his average. Joe Mauer is now the leader in the American League. With runners in scoring position, Joe is hitting .429. He is having a tremendous second half of the season for the Twins, who are playing some surprisingly good baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners off first and second base. Just missed outside again. Seeing Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, do what he has consistently done in a real good career ball strike umpire, there'll be a little favor to the hitters. If you're a pitcher, you gotta get it in there. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on those pitches, and that's the way it's been early on. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Long look back to second, and a high strike call that time at the letters on the outside corner.
Well, Ramirez trying to make some great pitches on the outer edge here, and a couple good changeups, and then attacks with the fastball and just getting the call. And a healthy heat on that one at 95 miles an hour.
Want to put that in your back of your mind as a pitcher. Maybe a place you can get some strikes. Overthrows. Runners will move up. Another wild pitch. That'll be the second of the ball game, and it puts 2 in scoring position.
Boy, really holding on to that slider a little too long. Almost catches a piece of Ramirez as well. Ends up going about behind him and kicks underneath the glove of Caleb. Caleb trying to make that backhand stop. Scoots past.
Ramirez, big damage against the Orioles already this year with 4 home runs and 6 RBIs. 3-2, 2 down. And Ramirez goes to second. The R's got this one, and that will do it in the inning. But a run scores. They get it done on 3 hits and error, and will leave 2 in scoring position. Tyler Kepner, New York Times. Interesting. He said in '82, the season that hooked me on baseball, 16,000 plus more hits than strikeouts. Now it is basically even, believe it or not. There has never been a season with more strikeouts than hits. This could be the year. That means a whole lot of balls that used to be in play aren't anymore. 15 years ago, 7 qualified pitchers, 8.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now 8.4 is the major league average. Can you believe that? Well, all those numbers are encouraging home runs and strikeouts. He concluded the players are simply giving the front offices in the game what they want. That is a dramatic change in a relatively short period of time on how the game is played. The strikeouts perhaps overtaking hits this year.
Man.
Said that 10 years ago, people would have gone, are you crazy?
Right?
Yeah.
There's no way that would happen, and all of a sudden it has, and it's become accepted. And well, I don't know that it's become accepted. I think now it's just being noticed. Hey, we don't really like this brand of baseball.
Yeah.
At least baseball purists, right?
Yeah.
I think even sabermetric, the sabermetric group has to kind of look at the game right now and say that this just isn't real baseball, you know. So I don't know. I just think better baseball players have to come, and it's got to come from player development. It's got to come from managers saying, no, I don't want that type of player on my team. And then the game's got to work back.
Well, there's a big leadoff walk right there. And Mullins continues his tremendous on base percentage. He's had a double and a walk in the ball game. And the Orioles have had all 3 leadoff batters on in the first 3 innings of the game. And that's against Clevenger, who has retired 70% of leadoff batters coming in. Trey Mancini, a strikeout victim, is first time up. Trey continues. Great month of August. Pitch will be taken. Good eye, not getting the first strikes in here. Trey's hitting .286 in August, 4 home runs. Only Mark Trumbo has had more homers this month than Trey has. Trumbo with 5. Clevenger 1-0. Jammed him on a little foul tip into the mid of Perez.
That fastball got pushed in about good 6 or 8 inches off the plate. Mancini trying to rush him out of there, but pretty good life on the Clevenger fastball.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Good lead. Clevenger 5 pickoffs, including the one he got today on VR. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Carl Willis, pitching coach, helps out with some of these calls, whether or not they want to throw over or not. 1-1 delivery on the way. Little breaking ball, not hit hard. This can be tough too. Relay in a hurry. High. Hurried too much. Goes off the facade. So there'll be no advance, nor will there be an error. They will get the out at second base.
Now Kipnis throwing this one away, but a nice play by the young shortstop. Watch how he comes in and really cutting down the distance right there, almost fielding it on the grass. Power underhand feed, and Kipnis just doesn't get a handle on the exchange, almost throwing it up in the stands.
So a fielder's choice gets the out. Mancini gets first base, and VR will stand in with a runner on. Base hit that got picked off in the first inning. Couple of hits in the series now. He has gone 2 for 8 as the Orioles trailing 2-0. Try and get on the board here in the 3rd inning. And an off-speed breaking ball. Good one.
We talk about VR's defense, but boy, oh boy, has that bat come alive. Couple home runs with 5 RBI in his last 3 games. A homer and 4 RBI in his first 12 games with the Orioles. So it took him a little while to relax in the Oriole uniform. He's slowing the game down. Buck Showalter's talked about it almost on a daily basis. Really likes the athleticism of VR as well.
That one will be fouled away. So VR with an 0-2 count. Clevenger has picked up 4 strikeouts already, along with the 1 walk that he has surrendered. VR has 17 strikeouts, 6 walks since joining the Orioles. It is game number 16 as an Oriole and game number 88 overall on the year. Pitch taken up. VR with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. So Jonathan Scope is struggling with the Brewers. I believe he's 8 for 48. And they are already discussing perhaps flipping him for another deal. Goes to left near the warning track. Apparently gets back to get it. Mancini hustles back to first base. Join fellow students, alumni, and supporters for University Nights at Oriole Park. Fans purchasing a University Night ticket package receive a unique Orioles cap featuring the participating school's colors and logo. Caps are limited, so be sure to reserve your seats now at Orioles.com/university. 2 down, 1 on. And Trumbo, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Orioles designated hitter goes after the first off-speed pitch, and that's about as slow as he's thrown one. 76.
Man, oh man, Trumbo's first AB. Just saw a steady diet of breaking balls, a slow hook, a couple hard sliders, and they're starting them off with the slowest of breaking balls. Get them out in front.
0-1 count, short lead at first for Mancini. Down to third, that will be foul. Clevenger is coming off the Cincinnati game we mentioned, where he worked only 5 innings, 2 runs and 5 hits. He has had 1 win in his last 5 starts, a couple of losses, and no decisions included there. 0-2 count on Trumbo. High pop up third base. Ramirez. Drifted over and he didn't know where he was. He was afraid of bumping into that railing and he wasn't that close. Ball should have been caught. At bat stays alive.
Boy, I'll say there are a couple balls here in this series. Ramirez hasn't looked too solid over there at third base. I mean, there, one skipped under the glove, and this one just drifting over, and I think got a little leery there with the railing coming up.
I would have charged an error on that play to continue the at bat, but they don't. They just call it a no play.
Jeez. Well, after this 2-run home run, they might change it to an
Yeah, exactly. Clevenger might want that. So Trumbo gets a continued at bat, 0-2. Been some close ones from both pitchers. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Mark didn't bother to turn around on that one. A little too close to check the home plate umpire. I'll just stand here and hope I don't hear anything.
Yeah, and you know, Trumbo's thinking, yeah, he's thinking that too. And so now Clevenger probably attacked that outside corner again, probably with a slider.
1-2 delivery on the way, and he goes right back there, and he gets a call this time. Strikeout number 5. The Orioles again leadoff man on, do not score, leaving a runner on at first. Indians up 2-0. Times a comment on Adam Jones this week about his deal not being willing to be traded by the Orioles, and they said likened his relationship with the city as going from dating to marriage. The comfort is most important, as well as finishing out and honoring my contract. I signed a 6-year deal and I'll finish it out. He will be rejoining the ball club, hopefully on the bereavement list with the illness in the family, in Toronto for the ball game tomorrow night. And it certainly looks like he will indeed be finishing out the year with the Orioles in right field.
Yeah, sure does. I mean, you know, you play long enough in the ball game and you're fortunate enough to stay in the same city for a long enough time, you earn that right to veto potential trades. And obviously Adam Jones has been in Baltimore a number of years now, 10+, longest tenured Oriole, and established Baltimore as his home with the young family. And it's tough to all of a sudden pack up and make some moves. So Adam certainly wants to honor this contract and see where next year takes him.
Diaz will take the pitch outside. A ball game that's perhaps a score not telling you a whole lot of the story. The Indians have a 2-0 lead. They have had chances, though, to score more, and the Orioles have had chances to score some. But teams have not been able to get, at least at this point for the Orioles, the big hits they needed. You get 3 guys on base leading off 3 separate innings and you don't score, and not good. Ramirez pitch will be fouled away. Jeffrey Ramirez, a walk and no strikeouts in the ball game. Diaz, Alonso, and Cabrera due up here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Ramirez kind of laboring his way through this ball game as well. Like to have a crisp inning, limit the pitch count, but the Indians have really made him work.
Diaz will take the pitch outside for a ball. Double RBI coming in the 1st inning. ended up being stranded at third base. Diaz providing some power the other way. 2-2 delivery on the way, and we'll be out of there when a called strike in the outside corner.
Oh, nice pitch there. Of course, Diaz, he busted a breaking ball. Take a look at the Mercedes pitch cast here, and that is about as good a slider as you're going to see. Perfect tilt, great location, right on that outside corner, down and away. Drove one into the gap, but you execute and paint the edges, you're going to have some success. Good one there.
The leadoff man finally retired. First one either pitcher has been able to get in the ball game. Here's Alonso. He drew a walk his first time up. The veteran Yondo Alonso out of Cuba. One of the many who has come from the island nation. And that pitch will be taken down low. Doesn't get to see his brother-in-law Manny Machado anymore when the Orioles play. Manny's come alive for the Dodgers, who have come alive. And he's upping his average and home runs out there on the West Coast. Alonso, now 31 years old, coming over from Seattle, signed as a major league free agent with Seattle last year. He hit .265 in 42 games. Delivery to him will be fouled back in a big cut. And Ramirez gets the count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, danger zone up there. You better stay down and away. Work those edges. Alonso having some struggles here recently with the bat, but boy, is he a dangerous hitter. 20 home runs. And they need his bat to start picking it back up again.
He'll take the pitch up high. Did not go around on it. Alonso coming in this year is a .268 career hitter at the major league level. Very solid number. Selected originally by the Twins way back in 2005. 3 ball 2 strike count. Shift on in the infield against him, and he'll be on with a walk. So he's drawn both walks that Jeffrey Ramirez has surrendered. Oakland A's are coming to Oriole Park September 11 through 13. On Thursday, September 13, all fans receive an Orioles This is Birdland t-shirt. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. And right now they are the mighty Oakland A's. We'll talk about them a little bit later during the ball game, but they are making an amazing surge going after a division title. Melky Cabrera lined out his first time up. Cabrera got denied a base hit and at least 1 RBI on a fine catch made by Jace Peterson, who had to go up in the air and pull down a rebound.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. We talked about how hard it is to time those line drives, especially the limited playing time that Peterson's been getting.
In the air to right field, very high. Gentry called off as Mullins moved over from center field. 2 down, and Alonso will stay at first. Our PNC Minor League Insights brought to you by PNC. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
How about 19-year-old Adam Hall, second round pick in 2017. He's working a 9-game hit streak right now. 452, the .528 on base percentage. Pretty impressive right there. 4 extra base hits, 8 RBI, 8 runs scored. Love the tools and of course that upside for Adam Hall, and he's been tearing it up.
Here is Kipnis. Kipnis got out of an 0 for 12 with a base hit in the second inning and would come around to score. RBI by Allen brought him home. RBI by Diaz brought Allen home in the first inning. 1-0 count, 2 down. Alonso on at first base. And the breaking ball will miss inside, and again that pitch count climbing, as Mike mentioned, has been the problem for Jeffrey Ramirez. Length of stay in the ball game really hurt by the fact he is not efficient in getting strikes and outs.
A little off today, and kind of tell with the body language. You know, one thing that we've talked about and actually been so impressed with Jeffrey Ramirez, just his poise on the mound, much like Cedric Mullins. You know, it just looks like he's handling himself like he's been here 10 years, you know, but here showing some frustration with the lack of command, really fighting through today. This is one of the more laborious starts we've seen from Ramirez.
One of those days where you learn. Buck Showalter likes to point out for young pitchers. What are you going to do when you haven't got your stuff?
Yeah.
How are you going to work your way through a ball game?
Absolutely. You find ways, you dig deep, and you hope for a big hit or two. That might solve a lot of problems as well if the Orioles could push one or two across.
Ramirez, just 24 years old. First chance at the majors this year. And another free pass. So 2 in the inning and 3 in the ball game. 2 on, 2 down.
A couple good pitches right there. It's not getting the call, and Ramirez taking a deep breath. Got to come up with the big one here. Once again, though, having to face more hitters than he'd like to face.
So Perez, Roberto Perez, who is doing the catching, 43rd game behind the plate for him. Beautiful sacrifice bunt his first time up. And a swing and a miss and a pitch down and away. Perez with 2 on and 2 down. He's trying to pick up another run. The Indians have gotten their runs with 2 away. And Perez trying to add to that number. 8 RBIs on the year for him, just a $156 average coming in. 0-1 delivery to him, and Ramirez will get the next call on the outside corner. So jumps on him with a couple of pitches down and away. 0-2. Gil Martin in the bullpen for the Orioles. Not seen him in this series. And did he go? No.
Oh, nice try. Real good try on the hard slider right there. Great second pitch and the second strike, and just pushing it off an inch or two more. And Perez, boy, he's leaning out there.
Alonso at second base, Kipnis at first, both via the walk. 1-2 delivery on the way, and Perez bat flying, ball not struck, and a strikeout for Ramirez. That'll get him out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. 3 complete. Indians up. Of Orioles baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Sunday at the ballpark, Lake Erie on one side, Cuyahoga River, the Flats, recreational area, restaurants, nightclubs for Cleveland is reopened and is booming again. That's great to see.
Is it booming again?
It is.
Wow.
I mean, there was a time a few years ago there was nothing there. I remember coming to the last All-Star game here, and they had the All-Star festivities down there. I mean, it was jammed. Yeah. Great clubs, great restaurants. And then it all died. Yeah. All of it.
I think my generation wore it out because we used to go to the Flats all the time.
Well, I wasn't going to mention that. You do have a plaque down there, however. dedicated to your efforts.
And you know why that river caught on fire?
Yes, I do, because you kept throwing matches and alcohol in it. Here is Chris Davis, and the pitch will be taken up high. Went down for dinner last night, and it was rocking and rolling.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really going. That's great. Great for downtown.
Yeah.
Davis leading it off. Davis a double. Nunez and Gentry will be due up. Shift on. Clevenger's pitch caught him off balance on that one. Wow.
Davis kind of took a funky swing yesterday. Curveball, and he ended up grabbing the backside. And I know this kind of in between right there, but I don't know. Something not letting loose, and once again kind of working that back leg a little bit.
You could almost tell he wanted to grab his back and then didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
1 ball, 2 strike delivery by Clevenger, and it will be up high. Davis a double leading off the second inning. Couple of hits here in the series. First of his career off Clevenger. He's 1 for 6 against the Indians right-hander. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be hit hard and right where they aren't playing. Shift or no shift, that one is in for a base hit, and Davis is 2 for 2, and the leadoff man is on again.
Yeah, there you go. Of course, Davis led off the second inning with a double, and there no effects on the backside. Staying through this baseball, really pulling the hands in tight. Nice swing by Davis.
So the Orioles leadoff man on all 4 innings. Nunez a strikeout victim his last time to the plate. Clevenger living dangerously here. He has given up 5 hits. Orioles have out hit the Indians 5-4, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Clevenger has now tied Jake Odorizzi for starting pitcher's longest scoreless streak against the Orioles that is active. Both Odorizzi and Clevenger have gone 21 innings and not allowed a run against the Orioles. Breaking ball, good block made. Perez able to keep it out in front and hold the runner.
Yeah, well, today's start much more difficult than his last one. Of course, back was it April 20th or 21st, he threw a 9-inning complete game and only gave up the 2 hits. Today, really kind of laboring through this ball game. Obviously, coming up with some big time pitches with the 0 on the board for the Orioles, but they've been threatening, and just 1 hit away really put some runs on the board.
Breaking ball, that's the one Nunez has had trouble seeing, or at least getting good swings on, and he didn't on that one. 1-2.
Yeah, not many hitters get a good look at the Clevenger slider this season. Really throwing it hard, spiking it down and away. A lot of respect for that fastball, and of course the deception with the delivery that so many times gets overlooked when you talk about pitching. And Clevenger, well, arms and legs going. Of course, that long moss flipping around up there as well.
Barry's one outside again. Perez going outside to get it. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles have already in the ball game gone 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That's just 2 shy of the total number of chances they had in the first 2 games. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Davis the lead at first. There it is again. Moved it in a little bit, but kept it almost in the dirt.
Yeah, it's just got a good finish, man. And when it starts down, it is going to finish hard down. Only 79 miles an hour, but the rotations are tight and it bites hard right when it gets in front of home plate. Nunez, who's had great balance over the last couple weeks, down on 1 knee there.
Clevenger has struck out as many as 11 this season. He's got 6 on the board right now. He only had 3 strikeouts in that complete game shutout he had against the Orioles we were talking about. He'll start inside with heat on Gentry. Gentry a base hit. Now 1 down with a runner on. Gentry the start in right field. Clevenger working on the hitter here with 1 down. Davis not going anywhere at first base. Ooh. Orioles just trying to figure out that pitch.
Yeah, just not picking it up. Not seeing the spin.
So Clevenger at 1-1. And again, he'll follow it up with a fastball. That seems to be working and keeping the hitters off balance. That slider that's in the dirt and then heat the next pitch.
Absolutely, and it's keeping him guessing out there on the outside corner. He's starting to spot up that heater out there, and that just really helps the slider play up. Both pitches working together.
1-2 delivery on the way. Popped it up. First base. Alonso not having to go very far, and Gentry is retired, and there are 2 down. Oriole fans, when the O's score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with promo code Orioles5. Enjoy the quality pizza you have come to expect from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you. The Indians have a 2-0 lead, 4th inning. 2-4-0 for Cleveland. 0-5-1 for the Orioles. Pitch taken up and away. Jace Peterson. He flying out to left field, his first time up. Saw Scott Coolbaugh, the Orioles hitting coach over there, trying to will a big base hit here to get the offense going. They certainly have done that in August. The Orioles are 7th in runs in the American League in August. They are tied for 2nd in home runs with 25, tied with the Yankees. Yankees, Red Sox, and Orioles have had the most home runs this month. Their .262 average in August is 4th in the American League. So what's the problem? Orioles ERA in August is 6.56, the highest in the American League.
Yeah, even though after a couple great starts, that earned run average kind of ballooned up. Of course, the bullpen's had some problems.
3-0 delivery on the way, and it'll be taken for a strike. 3-1, 2 down. Clevenger continuing to have to throw a lot of pitches. 72 through 3 2/3. Davis the lead at first base. In the air, right field. Back up, warning track near the wall, center fielder over, and Allen will put it away. Again, that wind blowing in from right may have been just enough to hold that one up. Sunday takes a look at the pennant chasing going on. The Cardinals, they beat the Brewers 7-2. They've moved into the wild card spot, and they're within 4 games of the first place Cubs for the Central. Cardinals have won 10 of 11 since the All-Star game. The Astros are just 10-14. They have lost 7 of their last 8. However, 74-49, their current record is the same as it was last year at this same point, and they of course won it all. While the A's, they have trailed by as many as 12 games in the American League West. They have now matched Houston and are tied 74-49.
Pretty exciting, right? I mean, Oakland A's, what a story. I mean, incredible. What is it, the lowest payroll, and finding a way to get it done, and this confidence, everybody pulling together is really the key. Astros, I don't know, everybody thought they were going to win 140 games this year the way they started, but it ain't easy working through a 162 game schedule, but they're still It's got to be considered one of the best teams in baseball with the talent they have.
Yeah, the Oakland's gone 7-3 in their last 10, and Houston's gone 3-7. So they're tied for first with those identical records. Pitch will be taken down low. Jeffrey Ramirez and Mike Clevenger both having to work hard in this game. Outs have not come easy. Gonzalez, that one's going to bounce away. Gonzalez grounded out his first time up, batting in the 9 spot, playing it short. Orioles are getting a bit of a break in this game as Francisco Lindor, the normal shortstop, gets a day off today, one of the game's leading hitters. 2-1 delivery on the way to first. Diving Davis. Can he get there in time? No. He may take a look at that one. Close play at first base as Ramirez unable to get over there ahead of the base runner Gonzalez.
Man, Gonzalez is flying out of the box. That is a close play right there. He was long stride. Just a hair late. Nice play by Chris Davis. And then it's a foot race.
So Gonzalez picking up an infield single, and the leadoff man is on again.
Jeez,
it's amazing. For both of these teams, there's only been one out recorded for a leadoff batter, and that was Diaz in the 3rd inning. Ramirez got him on a strikeout. All the other leadoff batters for both teams have reached, yet it is a 2-0 ball game. This one's defying the odds. Here is Allen. He's been on. Hit by a pitch, scored in the 1st inning, picked up an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Allen, their leadoff batter, draws Nunez in at 3rd base. Gonzalez draws the throw. Cleveland will run. They've got guys who have enough speed to do that, and Tito Francona likes to keep things going, make things happen offensively, and there he goes. That's going to be a base hit into center field with the runner going to go to 3rd. Ball blocked. Mullins able to keep it in front of him. 1st and 3rd as Allen now has been on all 3 times. A couple of hits, nobody out.
And they keep pushing. Yeah, hit and run right there. Nicely done. Good speed on first base, and Allen just able to pick up another knock. Been on base 3 times, hit by a pitch the first AB, and then back-to-back singles. They're staying hard to the middle, and the Indians put some pressure on Ramirez once again.
So a chance for a big inning with nobody out in the corners covered for Cleveland, and Brantley coming up. Both teams have had 7 chances with runners in scoring position in the ball game. This will be the 8th opportunity for the Indians. They are 2 for 7. Orioles will play for the double play ground ball, topped foul. Brantley a base hit his last time up and denied a hit on a fine play by Mancini in his first at bat. There are the numbers. A lot of chances. 0-1 count. Six hits now for Cleveland. Brantley will go the other way, and that's going to be a problem for the Orioles. It'll get by Mancini. It will score at least 1. Gonzalez, they'll hold the runner at 3rd. It'll be a double and an RBI for Brantley. And the Indians have a 3-0 lead, and Ramirez is close to the end of this start.
Yeah, they've been putting pressure on him. The command not quite there. Finally getting some pitches on the dish, and the Indians picking up some knocks. Brantley 30th double of the year. And this is an impressive piece of hitting right there. Gets that front foot down and waits on the changeup. It's elevated. Give him a look, and he slaps it to left field, driving in Gonzalez. There's the speed of Allen hustling into 3rd base, and Brantley standing on 2nd.
65 RBIs for Brantley in the year. Roger McDowell out to have a word now with Ramirez. John Gilmartin up for the 2nd time in the bullpen for the Orioles. They're just trying to draw some time now. Give Gilmartin a chance to get heated up again. And for Ramirez, I mean, these are important starts, trying to define who he is, what he is for the future with the Orioles, and the continuing problem of depth as a starter. goes on game after game. And there have been enough starts now where it starts to get to be of concern. So Ramirez will work with 2 in scoring position, and Ramirez coming to the plate. Jose Ramirez. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. And we'll take the pitch outside for a ball. So their number 3 hitter and their leader in the offensive categories. Chance here with the infield drawn in. 3-0 lead for Cleveland. And Ramirez will take another pitch away, and the count goes to 2-0.
Obviously a very dangerous situation here. You expect Ramirez to come with his best pitch, though, that changeup, and hope for a little rollover, a weak fly ball.
2-0 delivery on the way, and 3 out of the strike zone. So Ramirez gets up 3-0 on Jeffrey Ramirez. JD Martinez leads the league in extra base hits. He's got 72 right behind him. Ramirez has got 71, and then Lindor, the shortstop, has got 69. The intentional pass will be surrendered, and that's going to load the bases with nobody out. So not going to take a chance with Ramirez, and we'll go to the DH Diaz. Roger McDowell watching, and Buck Showalter's been on the top step.
Yeah, right now it's just a matter of minimizing the damage.
Nobody out, bases loaded. Diaz takes the pitch inside, and the count goes to 1-0. Well, here he gets another chance. 6 for 8 with runners in scoring position, with a double and an RBI in the first inning. 1 for 2, struck out last time up. He may not have been trying to throw strikes to Ramirez, but he's trying to throw strikes to Diaz.
Yeah, or at least get it close, entice a swing. Little non-competitive pitches right there.
Two and 0. 3-0. Would you give him a green light here?
Well, yeah, I would. I mean, you're already up by 3-0. Great opportunity to blow this open. I don't know a lot about Diaz's strike zone command, but obviously looks pretty good taking 3-0.
3-0 delivery on the way, and he was taking. It's a strike on the outside corner. He moved away. I was with you. I would have let him. He's got some power the other way.
Definitely.
See if he can pick up another RBI in the game. Three and 1, sacks loaded. Diaz will go after it. He wanted a 4 RBI swing right there, but he couldn't catch up to it, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, I think he wanted to pull this one. We talked about him kind of targeting right center. Watch that front side. Hip and shoulder leave, and of course that opens up the outer third. Good fastball by Ramirez, and nice job getting back into this count.
3-2. Just able to get the underside of that ball. Fouled it back.
Yeah, helping Jeffrey out there. Chasing well up and out of the strike zone.
Andy Diaz, also out of Cuba, the defector. Originally went with Texas. 3-2 count. And walked in a run. It'll be the 5th walk, 1 intentional. It'll be the end of the ball game for Jeffrey Ramirez. 2 RBIs in the ball game for Diaz. The Indians take a 4-0 lead. The bases remain loaded. Allen scores. Brantley to third, Ramirez to second, and Diaz on at first.
Very short start for Ramirez, scattering the 7 hits. Did not have the command, and 5 walks this afternoon. Only 2 punch outs, so early exit for Ramirez. He's got to give way to the Oriole bullpen. Tough start, and runners on base right now. Of course, the base is jammed as Gil Martin comes into the ball game. And it is the Jiffy Lube pitching change. Sean Gilmartin, take a look at his numbers here. A couple ball games, 2, 4, 5 out of the O's bullpen. Pitched 3 2/3 strong innings. A couple walks in there. He is not a strikeout pitcher, not overpowering at all. He'll roll some over, 42% on the ground. He just pitches to contact and likes to work the perimeters. Opponent's hitting just 231. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today.
So nobody out, Alonso stands in. 2 runs in here in the 4th inning. Alonso has drawn 2 walks. 2 of the 5 surrendered by Ramirez in the game. One of those intentional. And the pitch, Gilmartin gets a half swing and a foul ball, so he will get a strike. For Alonso this year with the bases loaded, we mentioned it the other night. Here's another chance. 17th opportunity with the bases loaded. 2 grand slams this year. He's had 14 RBIs in situations where he's come to the plate with the sacks full. He's had about 3 seasons worth of bases loaded chances all in 1 year.
Right. Yeah. Nice job here by Gil Martin getting ahead with a couple slow breaking balls. And Alonso wanted to do some damage.
0-2 the count.
Like he's getting it started right when Gil Martin goes into his delivery.
Left-hander's delivery on the way, and he will get him on a pitch down and away. So the matchup works and the strikeout recorded.
Yeah, nicely done right there. Took a changeup, or actually the slider working down and away, pushing away from Alonso. Big punch out. Now just 1 pitch, get him out of this tough inning.
So Cabrera with the bases loaded, a switch hitter. Now this is the better average side by far. Hitting .344 right-handed, .226 left-handed. And he will take the pitch outside for a ball. Sean Gilmartin pitching mostly at AAA this season, as he was with the St. Louis Cardinal organization, pitching in Memphis. Pitched at Norfolk. Popped in the air, first base side. That one's going to end up out of play. Gilmartin, yet another one of those pitchers Orioles are taking a look at. Cardinals had claimed him off waivers. He had been with the Mets. Major league totals coming into the year came through 66 major league games. In the air, left center field. It is way, way back. And goodbye, a grand slam home run by Melky Cabrera.
That was going to be tough getting out of that big jam. Bases loaded, nobody out. But you better get it in there. Take a look, 89 miles an hour. It's on that inside corner, but I don't know if he wanted it for a strike. I think it was supposed to be in off the plate. Either way, Cabrera finds a way to get the barrel to it, and it jumps out of the field. Big grand slam, and now the 8-0 lead.
So the Indians blow it open here in the 4th inning, and Melky Cabrera delivers the long ball. Cabrera came into this ball game and that at bat without a hit against the Orioles this year. He was 0 for 7. Then made it 0 for 8 and then hit the grand slam home run. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball, so that clears it. A big inning and still only 1 down. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Kipnis, the 8th batter to hit. He has singled, walked, scored a run. Kipnis will take Gilmartin's delivery away for a ball. So 9 grand slams have been hit by the Indians this year, and that too is an amazing number for the ball club in 1 year. 2-1 delivery on the way. Throttled back a little bit on the pitch and gets the swinging strike at 70, and the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, nice slow hook right there.
Cabrera, that's his first grand slam of the year in his 4th at bat in those situations. 2-ball 2-strike delivery on the way, over the top, in the air, right center field. Mullins will move over, and plenty of time to get there and put it away. Kipnis is retired for the second out here in the 4th inning. So 7 of the runs are going to be charged to Ramirez as he left with the bases loaded situation. That is not going to help his 5.4 earned run average.
No, it really isn't. Unfortunate. And Ramirez, you think with these experiences should be getting a little bit better, pick out some things, but unable to pitch through the command problems today. Of course, the Indians not helping him out.
7 runs on 7 hits off Ramirez, and a swing and a miss on a breaking ball away. Perez a sacrifice, and he has struck out. Indians offense unloading here in a series that has been all about pitching. Cleveland making this one all about hitting. 8 runs and 8 hits. 0-2 delivery on the way, and that's outside.
And you think about we've been talking about both teams having runners on every inning, it seems, but the way this inning started out, a nice play by Chris Davis, but the speed of Gonzalez, kind of setting the tone here. They really haven't looked back.
Yeah, look at a couple of plays that don't necessarily get recorded, Mike, that we've talked about. Gonzalez play here to get it started. Could have been an out at first base.
Should have been an out.
And then the pickoff in the first inning against Villar, the Orioles. They had runners at first and third, 1 out. Changes the whole complexion of the game in the very first inning. And the Orioles should have been able to get something across the plate. 2-2 delivery in the air to left center field, hit hard. Mullins going back, looking up. It'll take a hop, warning track and wall, die the base of the wall, and going into second base, Perez has got a double. So he joins the hit parade.
Yeah, another hard hit ball here off Gil Martin. Cabrera with the grand slam, and here Perez staying through this one, one hopping. And that left center field wall. Mullins talked for the ball game just about adjustments in ballparks. Of course, that big left center field wall out there, he had to wait on it, come back down.
So they've batted around, and here is Gonzalez, who started with that infield hit and scored. And he'll foul that one back. All 9 of the Indians have contributed offensively, and/or with hits, runs, getting on base, RBIs. Everybody's made a contribution in the lineup. 0-1 count with 2 down. 8 runs on 9 hits, 6 in here in the 4th inning. So Martin's delivery into the kitchen on that one, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think that's where Cabrera's fastball was supposed to be. Work in off the plate, push him back a little bit.
1-1 delivery to him, and again will come inside, not quite as much that time. Falls behind on the count here, 2-1 for Gil Martin. You're asking for a settle back in appearance now. You give up that grand slam home run, it's bound to rattle. 2-1 delivery on the way, reaching, and we'll foul it back.
And there you go. You push him back, get those feet moving, start to become aware of that fastball inside, even though it's not overpowering, but it's just enough to keep him off that 79-mile-an-hour changeup on the outside corner. Well executed there by Gil Martin. Always got to come up with a big put-away pitch.
Gonzalez with a 2-2, runner off second base. Gonzalez is one of those MVP guys, most versatile players. He last season, 26 games, he played at short, second, third, right, and left at AAA. And with the Indians came up for 60 appearances, so they need to spell somebody. Gonzalez, one of those guys who comes off the bench. 3-ball 2-strike count, 2 away. Gilmartin's delivery will have to come again on a 3-2.
Trying to sneak that fastball by him on the outside corner. Nice little 2-strike approach, though. Not trying to do too much there. Wait out a mistake, stay over that pitch away, fight it off.
Perez, big lead at second base. And the pain continues. That is the 6 walks surrendered by the Orioles in the ballgame. The first surrendered by Gilmartin. Will put runners on at first and second base.
I would like to have that call right there. The breaking ball just never looked like it came down.
Top of the order, Allen will come to the plate. He's already had a big day with 2 singles, hit by a pitch, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Oh, 2 delivery on the way, and he'll foul that one back.
Caleb and Sean trying to get on the same page here. Around at second base.
A lot of signs being relayed there. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way. Cuts inside. Caleb again able to stop it. And Gilmartin missing with it. We'll go to 1-1. Perez a double on at second base. Gonzalez on at first base, having picked up the walk. And another inning where the third out is proving to be extremely elusive. Pitch on the way, and a good one. That one tailed down and away.
Nice change right there, turning it over, getting on top of that baseball. Circle change pitch.
Gilmartin, 28 years old, not a youngster. A lot of minor league experience going back to 2011. 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be down low. And a 2-ball 2-strike count. Two and two away. Indians right now enjoying a Sunday at the ballpark. 2-2 delivery. Jammed him.
Good try. Real good try right there. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Make sure he got it in there. Into the hands. A borderline pitch with the 2 strikes. So Allen's got to protect.
Delivery to him. Ground ball down to third base. Nunez got a force. He will go to the bag, put the tag on, and that will end the inning. But grand slam home run included, a 6-run inning. 8-0 Cleveland. Baseball in our Major League Notebook, brought to you by University of Maryland University College. 1951, he was only 4 feet 3 inches tall. Made history. Eddie Goodell. He walked on 4 pitches. His only MLB appearance. Bill Reckenzenbeck idea, bringing people into the ballpark, always doing something like that. As a result, it was made illegal to do that sort of thing. Don't know how you write that rule. 1917, first Major League game ever played on a Sunday in New York. The Reds beat the Giants. The 2 managers, you probably know them. They were both arrested for violating the Sabbath day violation of playing a baseball game on a Sunday. John McGraw, Christy Matheson, both Hall of Famers, ended up in the tank. The price you play for the game you love, or the money you think you can make on Sunday. Caleb Joseph, and the pitch will be foul back. Caleb, a strikeout victim, his first time to the plate. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 left in the big 4th inning for the Indians, and Mike Clevenger, looking for win number 9, has got a lot of leeway in this ball game. Shattered bat, third base will be cut off. Ramirez on the throw, and Caleb is retired.
Now, Orioles had Clevenger on the ropes early on in this ball game, but able to capitalize with 1 or 2 big hits, and the Indians offense exploding against the Orioles, so it's going to be a tough stretch now.
Clevenger can be, or will want to be, a little more efficient. He finally gets a leadoff man out. The Orioles had the leadoff man on in each of the first 4 innings. Cedric Mullins, a walk and a double. Continues his tremendous start with the Orioles. Little chopper, you better hurry. Chance for an infield hit. Running throw, not going to get him. He is exciting. Fine play made by Perez with no chance.
Mullins so fast on the left side of the box right here. Really good effort by Perez. Take a look, little chopper and pitch away, maybe a little change up, and Mullins, very efficient runner, keeping everything tight right there. Perez trying to be as athletic as possible. With a nice play, but speed wins that one.
So he's got 2 hits in the ball game, a double, a single, and he has also drawn a walk. He's now at 12 hits in his first 30 at bats with the Orioles. And the breaking ball will be taken outside. Mancini, strikeout victim, and has reached on the fielder's choice. Orioles stranded 5 in the ball game. That'll be inside out foul into the seats. Orioles head off to Toronto after this ball game. Will open up the series tomorrow night. Andrew Kashner, Marco Estrada, scheduled starters. 6:30 O's extra. 7 o'clock for the first of 3. 2 night games at 7, and then a Wednesday day game at 12:30 against the Blue Jays team that is struggling. We'll have lots of stories up there about exactly what they're doing, kind of in the same rebuild process the Orioles are in. 1-2 delivery, fouled off. They're trying to get Josh Donaldson off the DL and back to playing. They want to trade him before the season is over to try and get something for him, because he's not going to be back next year, but they can't get him off the DL yet. And he hasn't played hardly at all this season.
Yeah, he's had a tough time with injuries. Of course, Tulowitzki hasn't been on the field all season long. A lot of their veteran players have all of a sudden become old and not moving around very well. So they're talking about the complete rebuild as well, and even some coaching changes potentially.
Yeah, John Gibbons has been assured of this year and this year only, and a decision at the end of the year and whether he comes back, their manager. Ground ball is going to go to short. Gonzalez, Kipnis, Alonso. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. An 8-0 lead for Cleveland.
Here's the rubber game. Orioles come through with a big win in yesterday's ball game. First and third situation in the first, and oh no, the yard gets picked off after a single, and that kind of sets the tone for the Indians. The offense bouncing back. Diaz right there driving in Allen, and Allen with a huge day today. He's already got a couple base hits with 3 runs scored. Take a look at this walk to load the bases. Allen ends up scoring after a single, and Ramirez an early exit. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. And Gil Martin staying in the ball game, and he'll face Brantley here with the lefty-lefty matchup. And Orioles hoping for a quicker inning. Boy, did that 4th inning last a long time. A grand slam by Cabrera. A few walks in the inning as well. And the Orioles bullpen staying active with Meisinger now up.
Brantley delivered a double in the big inning. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Could easily have had a 3rd hit with that fly ball to left caught in the first. Ball's going to come in. Diving is Gentry, and down on his knees, able to make the play. Again, that wind may have knocked that down. He thought that was going to be up in the air a while longer.
Yeah, Brantley, I think, might have got him on the pose up. Makes a big swing and then kind of poses in the box, but the wind knocking it down might have come off the label of the bat. And Gentry, thank goodness for that type of speed, able to come in and make a recovery play for the first out.
So 1 down here in the 5th inning. Ramirez will take the pitch for a strike. Threw an intentional pass in the 4th inning that would load the bases. Diaz with the RBI bases loaded walk. And then a couple of hitters later, Cabrera the grand slam down the line, heading foul and over towards the seats. Cleveland will be off for Boston. Play the Red Sox. They have a 4-game series. Meeting the Red Sox for the first time this year, and finally getting to see a team that's playing better than .500 baseball. They haven't had one this month. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Over the top, that'll be down low. We were looking at the standings before the game today. I hadn't really taken a close look. I didn't realize Tampa Bay had moved up above 500 again. They're 62 and 61. I do not know how they are doing that.
Yeah.
2-2 delivery on the way. Evan Cash has implemented that opener thing they've got going, using the bullpen and non-starters as starters. Last time I looked in those games, they were playing .500 baseball.
Right.
Which is about all you can ask.
And a lot of younger players, obviously, that can be kind of pushed into doing things the right way. I'm not saying force, but if they don't do it, they'll get sent out.
Yep.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of talented players in the minor league system that are hungry for opportunities, and Tampa's giving kids some opportunities. And if you come up there and show you're a gamer and play the game the right way, you're going to get those opportunities, and really that's what's kept their heads above water. This 500 point.
3 ball, 2 strike count on Ramirez. Diaz waiting on deck. Gil Martin charged with just the 1 run, the home run by Melky Cabrera. That ball is going to be a base hit in front of Trey Mancini. Big turn made at first, and Ramirez is on with 1 away here in the 5th inning. Well, the Chicago White Sox are going to be coming to Oriole Park. It'll be September 14 through 16. On Saturday, September 15, the first 35,000 fans 15 and over will receive the Orioles lightweight hoodie. For tickets, go to Orioles.com. So with that, the Orioles go to the pen again. Meisinger will come on with 1 down and 1 on.
Opportunity here. 4 games already with the Orioles this year. Pretty impressive stuff with a 3 earned run average and 4 hits in just his 6 innings pitched with 5 punch outs. One's hitting just 190. Righties at 214. Lefties just 143. And he's looking to clean up this inning and hopefully eat up a few innings here in the middle part of this ball game. Save some of the bullpen as the Orioles head up to Toronto after this game.
So he'll come on with 1 down and a runner on. Meisinger has been called up again for this series, and his first major league appearance for the Orioles earlier this year. On June 29, he was called up and came in against Seattle for an inning and 2/3 of that ball game. Runner on at first, 1 away, ground ball to short. Is that the old Taylor made? Indeed it is. They turn the 2 on 1 pitch. Villar to Peterson to Davis. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. Nobody left on base. 8-0 Cleveland. Brought to you by PNC. Make today the day. And by the University of Maryland Medical Center. Be a part of something greater. It's a great day for a hot dog or a sausage. And keeping score. There you go. He's still working at it, huh? Yeah. Like that. Everybody has their own way of scoring. He does it on his left leg.
His isn't ripped up like mine.
Everybody has their own way. You look at a scorecard, different people, and they're all varying. Whatever works,
right.
That tells you what's going on in the ball game. Clevenger, starter, has walked 1, struck out 6, getting some quicker outs in that 5th inning. Villar's delivered a base hit and has flied out. Trumbo and then Davis will be due up. All the way to the backstop on that one. Still my favorite card. I think of it because in Cleveland I saw his picture on the wall in the press room there today. Herb Score, one of the all-time great pitchers in baseball, taken out because of an injury. Herb used to do games for the Indians, broadcasting. Had the chance to meet him, and he had what was called the Herb Scorebook, which I still have.
Yeah.
I treasure that. Yeah,
nice.
The Herb Scorebook. I asked him to sign that one of those years we were doing games over there. It was down by the lake. And the pitch will be taken down low. 3 ball, 1 strikeout. Tanner Scott will get ready in the bullpen. McShowalter obviously deciding now, with all of the bullpen available and some guys actually probably needing work, not going to ask anybody to go long here, but get a lot of guys work and kind of keep everybody available for Toronto.
There you go. Yeah, keep them fresh for sure.
Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way. Strikeout number 7.
Now starting to rack up the strikeouts. And now this Indians rotation, 4 guys up over 150 punch outs, and that fastball, big reason why, with the deception, but just rushing it in there. It's a sneaky quick fastball, 94 miles an hour.
One away, Mark Trumbo. Mark has struck out twice in the ball game, and the pitch will be in there for a strike. Well, Clevenger has now gone 27 1/3 innings without allowing a run to the Orioles. That breaks the mark, the last long mark that had been set by Doyle Alexander. Alexander had gone 26 innings without allowing a run by the Orioles, set from 1986 to 1988. So Clevenger setting some new numbers in that regard. Up the middle, and Trumbo will limp his way down to first. So Mark is on with a 1-out single here in the 6th inning for the Orioles. The Orioles invite fans to step into the ring and enjoy WWE Birdland Mania at Oriole Park on Wednesday, September 19. Orioles will be hosting the Jays. Choose between 2 special ticket packages, both options including a Birdland Mania bobblehead. 1 on, 1 down. Chris Davis 2 for 2. He has had a double and a single off Clevenger. They're not going to hold the runner. Shift the infield around, but at double play depth against Davis. Chris, his 12th multi-hit game. He has not had a 3-hit game this year. 1-0 delivery to him. That'll be up high.
It's definitely been a struggle for Chris Davis all season long, and you want him to finish strong, right? Finish on a good note. Nice. Seems like he's picking things up here a little bit more. Second half, more consistent contact.
That back's hurting. Look at that swing and the reaction.
Yeah, something definitely hurting on the backside there. And you know, we noticed it in yesterday's ball game with a swing, earlier in this ball game with a swing and a miss. And right there, letting it fly, but noticeable that he was favoring something on the end.
So you got a guy at first who can't run and a guy at the plate who's having trouble swinging. 2-1 delivery on the way, and the pitch will be taken up high. And the count goes to 3-1 on Chris. Davis would like to play against the Indians all the time based on his numbers. He's had 7 hits and 25 at bats against Cleveland this year, by far his best average against any opponent. 3-1 pitch. He'll put that one up in the air behind second base, not deep. Bermuda Triangle area, but with that speed, Allen gets in and puts it away.
Wow. Making a pretty good play right there. Infield kind of a little lazy, it seemed, on this fly ball. Nobody really wanting to take charge, wave off the outfielder. So Allen coming in hot, wanting this out, calling him off and making a nice sliding play.
That is out number 2 here in the 6th. Nunez has struck out twice. Clevenger with the 7 strikeouts and just 1 walk in the ball game. Breaking ball, and that one really tied Nunez up.
Clevenger up at 100 pitches. Hasn't been an easy go for him. Somehow able to keep putting a 0 on the board. The Orioles threatening the bulk of this ball game, getting leadoff runners on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th innings. And not able to push anything across.
He's generally up between 100 110 pitches thrown in his starts. This is start number 25. 0-2 count on Nunez, and a breaking ball that'll bite the dust. That's the pitch that he has thrown to Nunez to get the strikeouts on. That hard slider down and away that Nunez, not he alone, other Oriole hitters and Nunez have had trouble lining up.
Yeah, you can just tell, not picking it up out of the hand, and it might be the deception. It's a little funky on the backside with the arm, so can't see the release point very well.
Down the line, right field, foul territory. Again, the wind blowing a bit, blows it in and over. And a souvenir for the folks. And we'll hold the count on Nunez. Had a ball and 2 strikes. Renato Nunez getting a lot of chances to show what he's got at third base. 24th game he has played in. Real fine average up over the 290 mark with the Orioles. Home run, 6 RBIs. Showalter leaving him out there just about every game. 1-2 delivery on the way. That one in the air to center. Again, the wind will blow it in. Long way to come. And Allen will put it away. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Indians on top.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. How about the first inning? The Orioles been playing some solid defense, and Trey Mancini covering 88 feet and a lunge on the end to come down with a beautiful play and the first out of the inning. And here, Cabrera hitting a line drive. Peterson with the perfect timing, about a 50% catch probability. But when you're an athlete like Peterson, you make it look easy. Nice play right there by the Oriole defense.
So the Indians with the 8-0 whitewash going, and the Orioles will continue to march them in from the bullpen.
Take a look. Tanner Scott now coming into the ball game. Man, as he had some struggles here lately. 6.57 earned run average. Got the 54 punch outs. Big arm. He can rush it up there triple digits at times. But as he made some problems on the dish. 275 overall average. The righty's up to 317. He's given up 5 long balls.
And we'll start with the pitch inside, taken by Alonso. Alonso, Cabrera, Kipnis will be due up. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Alonso 2 walks and a strikeout. He's had 1 hit in 8 at bats in the series. Scott's delivery to him outside corner for a strike. Meisinger ended up 2/3 of an inning, 0s across. Gil Martin an inning and a third, a run on 3 hits, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. And Jeffrey Ramirez 7 runs, 7 hits in 3+ innings. Got Alonso to wave at one right there, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Tanner Scott tough to pick up. A little short armor, much like Zach Britton. Doesn't have near the movement, but big velocity coming out of that left arm. Just a matter of location. Maybe come up with a little subtle move with the baseball to get some movement in the zone with that heater.
And a swing and a miss. Good location on that. Went from the outside back in to get him.
Yeah, but the nasty slider. So a 2-pitch pitcher, and actually spent last couple seasons really trying to harness this slider. And that's what you like to see. Burying it at the bottom of the zone. 90 miles an hour. It's a hard pitch with good break on it. Well executed there by Tanner Scott.
Scott, one of the pitchers who needed to get some work in, as he had not worked since his game against the Mets on the 15th. Fouled away by Melky Cabrera. Big hand for the Grand Slam artist in this one. Cabrera unloading in the 4th inning, picking up the grand slam home run, upping the home run number to 4. The RBIs up to 24. Down to third base on a chopper that'll go foul. Cabrera 1 for 3 in the ball game. Has only hit in the series 1 for 9, but he'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's jackpot, right? Hitting the grand slam, breaking the game wide open.
Cashner, Cobb, Roger McDowell, and a swing and a miss. So he eats up the right-hander with the pitch down and in.
Yeah, that's filthy slider there. We talked about just the location of the pitches being so important at the major league level. A nice slider to get Alonso at the bottom of the zone, and this one just burying down and in on Cabrera and tying them all up 89 miles an hour.
Jason Kipnis singled, scored in the 2nd inning, is walked and is flied out. 2 down, nobody on. Scott will get it in. Allen has had an RBI, 2 runs scored. Brantley has had an RBI and a run scored. Ramirez, he's scored a run. Diaz, he's had a couple of RBIs and a run scored. Cabrera, the grand slam. Kipnis, he's picked up the run when he reached leading off the 2nd inning. Contributions all over the place for this team. 0-2 count, 2 down. 8 runs, 10 hits for the Indians. No runs, 7 hits for the Orioles. We'll back him off a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see how the Indians finish up this season. Obviously in a great position to head into the postseason. They have some great young superstars. Obviously Ramirez, Lindor kind of leading the way with this team, but the question marks lie, I think, in this bullpen. Obviously the rotation with Bauer, but the bullpen, big time question mark.
So he strikes the side out, and we've completed 6 here in Cleveland. 8-0. Brought to you by WB Mason. Who has the name brand products you love at amazingly low prices? Who but WB Mason, the official office product supplier of the Baltimore Orioles. And by Johns Hopkins Orthopedics. When you have a setback, they set you up for a comeback. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick here in Cleveland on a Sunday. Great to have you with us into the pen.
Yeah, Clevenger, though, another strong game for Clevenger, even though he's been roughed up a little bit after the All-Star break. Strong performance, getting himself out of some jams today. 6 strong innings, scattering 7 hits with nothing on the board. He'll give way to the Indians bullpen. Andrew Miller coming out, and this is one of the big question marks we were just talking about. A couple wins, 3.60 earned run average. So he's only got 20 innings pitched this season. Boy, he's been on the DL a bulk of the season. The knee starting to act up again. Had a hamstring problem early in the season. Pretty impressive numbers still for Miller. 216 overall average.
So he'll work here in the top of the 7th inning. And Gentry. Geyers come on to play in right field. Melky Cabrera out of the ball game. Defensive change Francona makes all the time. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. So Gentry with a base hit, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Peterson and then Joseph will be due up against the left-hander Andrew Miller. Miller's 3 games prior to this against the Orioles this year, giving up only 1 hit in 2 1/3 innings worked. Lifetime, Andrews 3-0 with 6 saves against the Orioles. And a quick into 12.
Good fastball there. He's cutting it loose. The appearance he had earlier in this series, it looked like it was coming out of his hand as loose and free as that fastball there. 95 miles an hour, and showing the life up and away to get Gentry.
Jace Peterson coming up 0 for 2, couple of fly ball outs. That'll go to second base on the big hop Kipnis. And you can feel the 1 foot on the bus. MLB at BAT is your #1 Orioles app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Customize your Orioles home screen icon, plus features such as MLB.tv, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download it. MLB at BAT today. 2 down, 7th inning. Cody Carroll in the bullpen. Caleb Joseph 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. And Caleb will take the pitch on the inside corner for a strike from Miller. Well, this is the way you want to ease a guy like Miller back into the tough situations, putting in ball games where there's virtually no pressure. And he hits him. Sorry, former battery mate. Didn't mean to do that.
It almost looks like he wants to go up and apologize to Caleb about it, doesn't it? That hard slider, and typically he'll target that back foot. Didn't mean to catch him up around the knee area, though. Actually, the front knee. So breaking a little too soon on the slider. Caleb, quick look out to the mound with a smile on his face. And yeah, Miller didn't want to do that at all.
4th hit batter by Miller, which is a lot for somebody who hasn't thrown that many innings this year. So the Orioles get a runner on, turn the order over, and here is Cedric Mullins again. Mullins will take it away. Mullins up and on all 3 times. He's had a double, single, and a walk. 4 hits in this series, going 4 for 11. Homer and an RBI. Swing and a miss as Miller took a little bit off that pitch and evens it up at 1-1.
Yeah, that's nasty. Andrew Miller slider right there. That's the one he wanted to throw Caleb.
He will foul that one away. Already on the home run board as he got his major league first yesterday.
Yeah, Cedric Mullins laid down a bunt earlier in this ball game, but in his last AB picked up his first major league home run. And I underestimated. I said probably 380. It was over 400 feet.
And that'll take care of that. So not a lot of pitches thrown. 7th inning stretch time in Cleveland. 8-0 Indians. Take a look at our Sunday columns. Fine article, Ken Rosenthal in The Athletic. A Q&A with Dusty Baker. And that was the headline, opening up on those areas. Dusty said the game is getting so slow and is not exciting. What happened to the triple, scoring from first on a double or long single, running on 3 and 2? I think the game is going to come back. It has to come back. But it's killing me to go to those minor league games. I'm seeing bad baseball. I see bad base running, no bunting when they need to bunt, an excessive amount of pop-ups, strikeouts, almost a no-hitter every day until the 6th inning. No first to thirds. It's terrible. It's a really nice article. It's all Q&A. It goes on for a number of pages, but that's Ken Rosenthal in The Athletic and Dusty Baker thinking about the ballgame.
Right. Yeah, making some remarks about how the game is today. If he wanted to see some triples, he should have come to the Mets-Orioles series where the Mets pounded out 4 triples in 2 ball games. But, you know, he makes obviously some great points. He's been in the game forever. Yeah, we were talking earlier in the ball game just about the game potentially needing some adjustments. Cody Carroll now coming in out of the Oriole bullpen. This will be his 6th appearance with a .579 earned run average. 4 2/3 and has 6 base on balls. About just calming himself down out there and being more aggressive in the strike zone with his big fastball. Opponent's hitting only .235. Righty's at .273 and the lefty's .167.
Roberto Perez, the catcher, will stand in. He had a double in the big 4th inning and they got 6 runs on 5 hits. Perez, Gonzalez, and then the top of the order, Allen will be due up against Cody Carroll. Scott worked an inning and struck the side out. Carroll's delivery on the outside corner for a strike. Cody Carroll out of Tennessee. He is 25 years old. Another of the pitchers getting a shot at it here. It's only his 4th professional season. He played college ball at Ole Miss, and that's why he ended up getting to the professional level a little bit later than might have been anticipated.
Yeah, big arm, really loves the fastball, but he's not commanding it. It's going to be some problems for sure. Big kid.
He'll get him.
And that's what you like to see. Start using those secondary pitches. Show him you got some other stuff. And this is a nice breaking ball right here. Hard slider, 83, and located perfectly. And look at how far out in front Perez is. Big time pitch right there. 4 punch outs in a row for the Oriole bullpen.
So Carroll starts with a K, and that'll bring up Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a walk, a single, a run scored, and he has grounded out. Pitch will be taken away. 8-10-0 for the Indians, 0-7-1 for the Orioles. 8 left on by Cleveland, 7 left on by the O's. And that pitch is going to be down low for a ball. Carroll acquired on July 24 from the Yankees. He was involved in the Zach Britton deal. Ground ball towards the middle. On the short hop, bobbled. You could see that coming. Mike talks about that all the time. VR, the shortstop, let the ball play him.
Yeah, you got that right. It was nice to see him aggressive coming to get it, but he ended up playing the wrong hop and it got in between. And then you'll see the glove going, oh no, it comes up a little short, tips off the fingertips, and rolls into the outfield there. Not helping Carroll there. VR, you know, Buck Showalter talked about VR playing shortstop, and really that's where he's had the most experience, and he's played very well defensively in his time here with the Orioles. Defense had been a problem in the past, but you hope with more experience, more games under your belt, it kind of hopefully the game continues to slow down for him out there.
And I really think the Orioles are taking a much harder look at him at short than they're willing to talk about. VR, with Beckham getting most of the starts, may not get a lot of chances there. We'll see as it goes along, but it's not inadvertent that when Beckham's not in, he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, VR's been playing so good at second base, and he's made so many tough throws up the middle that you know, when you have a track record playing shortstop, and with the Orioles kind of in need right now for a backbone type player, somebody that's going to take it over and be out there every day. Buck's just looking for that guy who's going to step up.
And that pitch will be taken for a strike. Orioles have committed 2 errors in the ball game. All the runs are earned to this point by the Indians, though. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Allen leadoff batter, a couple of singles, RBI, 2 runs scored, big day, and that's just foul. Allen staring down first base umpire Jerry Lane. He was looking right at it, of course, coming out of the box. He thought that was a fair ball.
Boy, that would have been some more extra bases right there. Allen chopping down on that one, and boy, it was close. Right in front of Jerry Lane, though.
That'll bring Gonzalez.
Look right here, that high chopper. It's getting over the base, landing in foul territory.
3-2 delivery on the way, and a ground ball this time will definitely be fair. Davis will go for 1. Relay coming back to first. There is none. Speed of Allen preventing any chance at the double play, so he will reach on the fielder's choice. 3-6 on the putout. Join us tomorrow. The Orioles open up the 3-game set in Toronto. Game 1, Andrew Kashner against Marco Estrada. Coverage on MASN 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Ford. Game will be at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. So now 2 down with a runner at first. And Michael Brantley coming up. Brantley an RBI double. 4th inning. He's had 2 hits, double single. 2 for 4 in the ball game for Brantley.
Boy, Carroll can drive his fastball downhill like that. Work it down around the knees. And a nice little time up here at the major league level. That's a tough fastball to get to with as tall as he is.
Puts that one down a little bit. 6'5", 210-pounder, Cody Carroll. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Yankees drafted him in the 22nd round, 2015. Ball out in front of the plate, retrieved by Caleb Joseph. And a 2-1 on Brantley. Otero in the bullpen. We've seen him in this series. Yesterday, in fact, he worked an inning. Carroll from the third base side of that slab. Towering pop-up third base way. And in foul territory. Play made. Brantley retired. We've completed 7th. 8-0 Cleveland. Our Ram Duos brought to you by Ram Trucks. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer. Or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Be the best page we've ever had. Look at this sister. Friday, White Sox asked to throw out the first pitch. She threw a breaking ball. Sister Mary Jo Sopiak. She is from the Marian Catholic High School in Chicago. I can watch that a million times. And watch her go off. I mean, she's into it. Okay, thanks very much. You can get my autograph later. See you now. Gotta go. Got the ball in the glove, and hello, everybody.
I'll be down in the bullpen later.
That may be the most viral video of the year right there. Sister, that was great. 8-0 lead for Cleveland.
Dan Otero now into the ball game. Saw him pitch last night. Picked up a punch out, a clean inning. 5.44 earned run average. Sitting 275 on the year off.
And it will be in there for a strike. Mancini up. Mancini has had an 0 for 3 in the ballgame, 1 for 11 in this series here in Cleveland. Trey will take a breaking ball. Raja Davis has come on playing left field. Brantley out of there. Oh, to the count, and that'll be off the fists and foul. Orioles batting here in the 8th inning. Not a lot of chances in the ball game. They came early, the best chances, and just didn't take advantage of them, getting the leadoff man on in each of the first 4 innings of the ball game, and could not convert. And then Clevenger able to shut the Orioles down after that big 6-run 4th inning for Cleveland. A lot of runs to work with, and he did. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and that'll be grounded towards the hole, be a base hit. Went the other way. Kipnis second baseman had moved over towards the bag, so a lot of room there, and Mancini has got a single.
A nice piece of hitting right there. Mancini looking to pick up a knock right here and letting it travel, backing it up. Mancini using the whole field, and here in the month of August, been impressive. His approach, and with 2 strikes, just shortening up and taking what's given there.
So a leadoff man on in the 8th inning for the Orioles. They now have 8 hits in the ball game. Villar's had 1 of them, a base hit, 1 for 3. Got his in the 1st inning. And down to first, it'll go foul. Tough start for the Orioles starter Jeffrey Ramirez. The 7 runs, 7 hits, and 3+ innings. And by the time they got through that 4th inning, this ball game was pretty much out of reach, and it has stayed that way. 0-1. Comes inside a little bit to him. DR will take that one. Trumbo will be due up next.
Yeah, a little frustrating for Ramirez. Expected him to pitch a little bit better. Had an all right outing against the Red Sox. One of the best offenses in the game. Only gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. And the way the Orioles starters have been going here, a little past the baton. You know, we've seen him get on a nice little roll. You see Fry now getting loose in the Orioles bullpen. But just didn't have the command, and he just didn't have the same kind of composure that we'd seen in the past too. Frustrated real early in the ball game and could never really shake it.
Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mancini, of course, not being held at first base with the score what it is, and a left-hander up. 2-2 delivery on the way to him. Gar got a pretty good cut on the fastball, fouled it back. 30,555. 30,555 here at Progressive Field. They had their 8th sellout yesterday with 35,000 plus on hand on Jim Thome Day. And another big crowd on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's a nice weekend. A lot of fans coming out to see their first place team.
2-2 delivery on the way. Check swing, missed. Cleveland has an interesting schedule. Of the Red Sox, as we said, they're going to Boston to play 4, and then the Red Sox will be coming here in second to the last week of the season for a 3-game weekend set. Gets that call, and a slow retreat by Villar.
Villar not liking the call. Buck not liking it either. Let's take a look on the pitch cast. Back-to-back changeups, and both of them pretty good pitches at the bottom of the zone. The first one called a ball. Second one a hair higher. Strike 3.
Austin Wins will come on and pinch hit for Trumbo. Fouls that one away. So 2 questions after the ball game that will have to be asked. 1, is Chris Davis all right? And 2, can Mark Trumbo continue to play with that knee?
Yeah, you know, up on the turf in Toronto, Buck always talks about that, how tough it is on the body playing up there, and tends to give his veteran players some time. And that'll just beat up Trumbo's knee a little bit more. And if you got any kind of back problem on turf, it's going to flare up for sure.
Yeah. Adam Jones will be due back tomorrow. Roster change will have to be made, and it could be affected by the condition of both of those players. 0-2 delivery on the way is going to go to short. Gonzalez, Kipnis, and Alonso. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming from Cleveland. Orioles being shut out.
Melky Cabrera stepping up off Gil Martin. Bases jammed after an intentional walk. A regular walk, and of course a couple base hits in the inning. Ramirez knocked out, and all these runs going on Ramirez ERA total. A big fly by Cabrera, and the back-breaking home run right there.
Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs. Cabrera's 7th career home run against the Orioles on that grand slam.
8-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. The Orioles going to the bullpen again, and this time Paul Fry coming out. Look at his numbers on the season. Been doing a nice job for the Orioles. This will be his 20th appearance. 3.15 earned run average and 20 punch-outs. 229 overall batting average, and the righty's having a hard time. Just 200. Lefty's at 257. He's getting a lot of the outs on the ground. I'd like to see that 60%.
So Joey Rickert will come on to play. He will be in left field. Trey Mancini goes to first. Davis out. And Fry's delivery will be taken up high for a ball by Ramirez. Base hit, intentional walk, fly ball, ground ball out, and he has scored a run in the ball game. Buddy Carroll worked an inning and had a strikeout. The rest were zeros. The only run the bullpen has surrendered was the Cabrera run that was charged to Gil Martin, who gave up the grand slam. But the runners who were on base all ended up being the responsibility of the starter, Jeffrey Ramirez. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Jose Ramirez. He'll vie for MVP votes as the Indians roll on towards the postseason. 1-2 delivery on the way. Cleveland coming into the ball game with that comfortable lead in the division by 12 games over Minnesota. They are the only team in the division playing above 500 baseball. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Ramirez. And a chopper that actually hit the plate. Fry will have to hustle. Gets it there in time for the out.
Bang, bang right there. Paul Fry taking his time on the pirouette. Played it the right way, but made sure about it. Take a look at the chopper right here. Boom. Right off the top of the plate. Fry coming in. Make sure he catches it. And a little step and throw. And Ramirez always hustling down the line. Making it close.
Just got him. One away here in the 8th inning. Here's Diaz. His RBI came on a bases loaded walk in the 4th inning. The second one. First one in the 1st inning and a double. Third base cut off. And he just makes the throw over to Mancini to record the out. And there are 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Downtown Cleveland. Just a few blocks from where the ballpark is. And there are 2 away. And here's Yonder Alonso coming up. Alonso, a couple of walks, has struck out twice. 2 down, nobody on. Fry's delivery will be away for a ball. Orioles 3 outs to work with going to the 9th inning. Pitch will be there for a strike. Nothing really offensively since the 6-run 4th inning. They've just Simber in the bullpen. We've seen him in the series as well. Fouled away. Once the Indians got the big lead, the outs came relatively quickly for the Oriole bullpen. And that's kind of been a story both on a good and bad side for Cleveland this year. They tend to bunch runs together and then the game just offensively kind of dies.
Yeah, they've done that a couple times this season. There was a game in Baltimore where they scored a couple early runs in like the 2nd inning, I think, and then nothing the rest of the way. Ended up winning 2-1. They did it the first night.
Yeah.
A home run and stopped.
So Fry will get the strikeout. Retired 1-2-3. We go to the 9th inning. Can the Orioles avoid a shutout? Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest. Low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. That's Frank Robinson. We were just wondering. Now he's here. The statue outside the ballpark, Progressive Field. He's out at Legends Park for the Orioles in Monument Park at the ballpark. And I would think, if I don't know this, does he have one in Cincinnati? I would think he's got to have, right?
Gotta have one in Cincinnati.
Maybe the only guy with 3 statues in Major League ballparks.
Right. And who knows, there might be more, right?
There might be more. That's how good he was wherever he went to play.
Exactly. Now the Indians go to the bullpen again here into this ball game. And take a look at Adam Simber's numbers. 52nd appearance here, 3.67 earned run average. Got 52 punch outs in 54 innings of work, and not really overpowering. Working the low 90s with the fastball, cutter, slider, curve mixed in there. Opponent's hitting 254 overall.
Joey Rickard first at bat. Oh, just out of the reach. He's got a base hit. Alonso diving, could not get it. Geyer will get it back in. So he sees one pitch in the ball game and ends up with a base hit out of it. So Joey Rickard on. Start the 9th inning for the Orioles. That'll be the 9th hit for the O's in the ball game. Now the Orioles trying to get on the board. They've been shut out 10 times this year. This Cleveland ball club, with their great starting rotation, they have 12 shutouts to their credit. Here is Nunez, and the pitch taken for a strike. Simber with that Darren O'Day delivery.
Yeah, maybe a touch lower than O'Day. O'Day, when he starts down, kind of comes up to a more traditional sidearm. It's a little underneath sidearm, closer to that submarine action.
Renato Nunez, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. He's had 2 hits, 9 at bats in this 3-game set against Cleveland. Well, I don't know quite what that was. It was a foul ball, and something didn't feel very good right on the right arm.
Yeah. Huh.
A lot of guys going down here for the Orioles, or staying up not healthy, one or the other.
Buck Showalter and Trainer on the top step. Take a look at there. The hand slips off, and
he hit himself with the bat.
Yeah, I think so. And then just that top hand staying on may have stretched that shoulder out a little bit.
One ball, 2 strike count. Simber's delivery to him, chopper towards second base. Kipnis, Gonzalez, and they turn the double play. 2 down in the 9th.
I saw a couple nice double plays here in this series for both teams. And of course, the veteran there, Kipnis, with the power feed on the shortstop to clean it up.
Cleveland will win the season series 5 games to 2. They won it last year 6 games to 1. 2 down here in the 9th inning. Clevenger will get the win, 9-7. Ramirez will take the loss. He is 1-5. First appearance for Ramirez against Cleveland. Clevenger will remain undefeated against the Orioles, 4-0 in his career. Went around on it, including 2-0 this year. Greg Gentry, 2 down, nobody on. 1 for 3 with a base hit. In the air to right field. Geyer coming on. This ball game is over. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Orioles retired here in the 9th inning. So the series 3-game set goes to the Indians. It is their 20th series win of the year, and here at home they are 11-6 in series. The Orioles on the road now 3-15-2 in series against opponents. There's your final. 8-0 Cleveland.